Tuesday. Welcome to the Giant Bombcast, episode 761. I am your host today, Jan Ochoa, and we couldn't let the month of October go by without celebrating, or at least acknowledging at least once, Filipino American Heritage History Month, FAHM, whatever you want to call it. So that's why I've assembled the internet's kuya, my brother from another mother, my kapamilya, Michael Higham. How's it going, dog?
Hey, halika dito. Bebo.
I hope y'all don't get the copyright strike on that, but shouts out to Apple the App.
Yeah, shouts out to Apple the App. Michael and I are here to, on behalf of the Filipino American community, to extend honorary Filipino American hood to the two Jeffs of the website. We've got the co-captain of the ship. He embodies everything that Tito Boy does. If you're playing around too much, he'll get a paper towel. He'll put it on your back inside your shirt as you're playing around so you can keep playing around. We've got Jeff Grubb.
I want to be a Poggy boy.
Oh my God.
Very, very poggers of you.
Get him out of here.
And last but not least, make sure you bow your forehead and take his hand and make sure to bless Mano po, the ultimate pare, Manong Jeff Bakalar.
Oh, Jan, thank you for reading the script just the way I wrote it. I really appreciate that, my friend.
Of course. I hate to inform the both of you that now, being honorary Filipino American, you are more susceptible to gout and type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Dialysis is probably coming, but the three bonus things: 1, you are now fantastic at karaoke. Mm-hmm. 2, you now know how to either play the guitar or the ukulele or both.
Mm-hmm. Bonus.
3rd, you get a free pair of basketball shorts, and you now are part of the Warriors fam.
Yes,
specifically the Warriors.
This is all I ever wanted.
Yeah.
I have a question, Jan.
Yes, Michael.
Between Bakalar and Grubb, who would you make if you had a kid, who would you make your ninong? You gotta choose right here, live, on the spot. Who's your ninong? Or who's your kid's ninong?
Choose wisely, Jan. And when I say choose wisely, I'm saying pick Grubb.
I was gonna say, like, I could imagine, like, we have, after the baptism of my unborn child, we'd go to the Jollibee to have the after party at. And I feel like when Jollibee would come out, start dancing, Grubb would, like, be inclined to get up and start dancing too.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd slow dance with that Jollibee. Absolutely.
Yeah, there we go. One day I'm gonna go to a Jollibee. Jollibee's gonna be dancing. It's gonna pull off its head. It'll just be Jeff Grubb there.
Yep. We're talking. Jen and I were talking before the show. Like, Jeff Grubb. He could be the Jollibee.
I mean, man's got to work.
Yeah.
Gotta make a living.
Everyone needs a side hustle, right?
He's worn plenty of costumes lately, so
I'm just saying, it's my calling.
Yeah. I promise, Jeff Grubb, you won't almost get run over by a scooter this time.
Well, hey.
You might get a short Filipino woman yelling at you, though, but that's an everyday thing for me.
That's just my mom.
Yeah, that's just a scooter of a human running me over. That's fine.
What's happening, y'all? What's poppin'? How's it going, Michael? How are you doing? Jeff Grubb, Jeff Bakalar, what's poppin'?
I am trying to hold it together. Before the show, I was chilling with Jan in the Discord, and I was like, "Hey, what's up, man? I just want to warm up a little bit." My chest was hurting, and for me, having heart surgery, which I've talked about in the past, any type of pain that you get like around the chest area is like, this is like DEFCON 5 or some shit, or DEFCON 1. Which one? I don't know which one.
I think it's DEFCON 1, but no one knows. No one knows.
Yeah.
I'm just
it's Def Jam 5. It's Def Jam 5.
Def Jam 1. Yeah. Bring that shit back. But I think it's starting to, ease up a little bit. But I'm chilling. I'm good. I'm holding it together. I hope.
We're gonna monitor you.
Yeah.
We're gonna monitor you. I'm gonna be staring at your face the whole time.
Yes. Hey, my ninongs are here, and my kuya.
Just move a lot. Just move around a lot.
Maybe he shouldn't move around a lot. I don't know.
Or
Like,
Keep it warm.
Whatever's
Keep it
safe.
warm. Yeah, but I'm okay. Padres got eliminated, so that's fucked up. Lewis Hamilton got knocked out of P1, and Alex Albon did not get points in the last race in Austin. So sports world is falling apart. But you know what? I'm here with my boys.
Detroit is not lost in regulation. The Red Wings are basically perfect. The only perfect hockey team. So everything's going pretty good for me, and they're going to beat the New Jersey Devils tonight. So
okay. Do we want to jump the gun? Do we want to get to what's listed there in the run of the show?
This is the part of the news for me because it's just going to happen.
This is sports talk. I'm sorry to announce now to the folks listening at home.
A sports website, not just an anime and wrestling website.
We're going to talk about actual sports now for like at least 5 minutes.
I just think it's a peculiar time to be very optimistic about a team being so much in the infancy of the 2022-2023 NHL regular season.
It's never stopped me before. I mean, it's backfired a lot, but it's never stopped me.
Yeah, probably backfired back in '95 when you went to the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or let me try to remember, nearly 30 years ago.
We were kids back then, weren't we?
Yeah. The heady days of getting swept by the Devils, yes. But they play tonight. They play tonight. And you and I have been discussing privately about some sort of wagering some sort of friendly bet.
Okay.
How does this work? What do you think?
I don't know. I was sort of looking to chat to our audience to maybe sort of curate the bet. Devils are already down 1-0 because they lost to the Red Wings in their opening game.
Right.
They won 3 in a row, but they lost last night to the Caps. And they got to fly out to Detroit right away and play a Detroit Red Wings team that probably overachieving this early in the season.
They're perfect on the penalty kill, and they are doing really well on power play. Right, exactly. Not stuff that's gonna last. But much better than last season.
No, for sure. And I hope they do well for your sake, for sure. I'm trying to think what can we wager? I was saying an ugly pizza where one of us has. I like
this one from Galstaff. If the Devils lose, you have to buy a cat.
It's a little extreme. It's a little extreme.
First of all, you literally went to the worst possible thing I could do.
What?
That's after chopping off a pinky. That's after
Michael is a cat guy and he's having chest pains. Don't rag on cats too much.
Hey, me and you too.
You don't like cats?
Poor Michael.
Fine. Cats are fine. Whatever.
You're gonna get jumped.
No,
we'll mess you up.
Dogs are cool as fuck.
We're gonna jump Bakalar at the next bombathon.
Oh no, cat people in a fight. Here's the thing.
Yes, because cats are known for their kind, gentle touch. I'll come at you like a tornado of claws and fur. Okay, I like the ugly pizza idea. I just don't know how to So I lose. I have to eat an ugly pizza, but you're buying it, or I have to pay for my own ugly pizza. I think it should have.
I didn't think this through really.
No. There should be two sides to it. So the winner gets their own good pizza, and the loser gets the ugly pizza, but the loser has to pay for both.
Right. Okay. Let's do that. Now, are we doing that's the season series, right? We're doing that for the season series?
Okay, season series, that's fine. But we need something for tonight, though. I can't wait that long. It's gambling, baby. We got to make it happen immediately.
We can't gamble on Twitch anymore.
That's right.
It's a friendly ribbing.
Friendly. We call this a friendly wager.
Fribbing. Yeah. Fribbing, yeah.
Fribbing, yeah. So it's a fribbing.
This is what friends with benefits means.
Yes, that's exactly.
The pizza thing feels good for the season series for sure. We got to do something.
Jerseys? Swap jerseys.
Buy a jersey of the other team.
Someone in the chat, I think it's Splotch, said that the loser should wear the other team's jersey on the next Bombcast.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to buy one, you could just I don't know, how far away do y'all live from each other?
We
could ship one to the other.
Just toss it. We'll
toss it.
He's in the other room.
We've actually been in a streamer house this whole time.
What's that?
You got jerseys? You send me a jersey?
I can send you a jersey. Yeah, I got a couple. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna need it back. It's Konstantinov. So, but yeah.
Shit, I might keep that. I want that. I want that jersey. That's
that hell of a
awesome.
jersey, right? Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
All right, I think I've got
right,
like an Elias jersey I can give you, so we'll do that.
Okay. I think that's good. Everyone's settled, so it's just winner tonight in that game, and then the season series is a pizza bet. I like it.
Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
Okay.
There we go. There's your gambling fix, Jan. There you go. You're good for another week. Man.
No, we got a game to talk about that will satiate that.
Oh God.
I got another sports related thing to talk about.
Yeah.
And so the Warriors are like, my local basketball team, and they happen to be a franchise. They happen to be titans in the sport. And the problem with that is, especially with a new stadium they've opened, Chase Stadium or whatever they're calling it, tickets are obscenely expensive for every single game, right?
You went last night, though.
I went 2 nights ago, and I don't know how. It just happened to be during Filipino Heritage Night. Wasn't playing it.
And that's because you were there.
Yo, the king is here. What's up? And then
God is Filipino.
And then I went to the nosebleeds with all my other brokies. And I was sitting there. My partner and I were sitting there. We're vibing. We're having a good time. It's the first time we've watched a game at Chase. And everyone around us was not passing the quote unquote vibe check. And I just wanted to ask y'all's opinion. When you were going to a sports game for, your team, home game and everything, do you do anything, or do you just take it if people around you are like, the vibes are just off?
Oh, in what way were they off? Was it just like not hype?
My partner and I were screaming our heads off, and then like anytime they cut away to like the Filipina DJ and like she's playing a song, we're just like ooh, and then like we're just standing up and dancing and like gigging as Bay Area people would say, and then the people around us are just like kind of like inching away or just like
You're leaning
looking
away.
Maybe
away.
y'all weren't passing the vibe check.
Nah, I'm trying to have a good time.
How dare you?
I'm sure you were. I'm sure you were. Damn,
like,
that's
when you watch a hockey game, maybe you're sitting in the wrong section, and it's like, oh, these people are boring.
Well, this is a weird thing because you're saying if they're boring. I mean, like, hockey game's not a place to like. It's not a great place to get into an argument with somebody. I gotta say.
Yeah,
Fair.
that's what I was going. My point was, or my story was going to be. I went to that first wrestling show, and the guy a few rows behind us was thinking he was the cleverest person in the entire stadium, and was starting all the most annoying chants possible, and heckling as loud as he could. They couldn't hear him in the ring, but everyone else could. It was just annoying, and it's like me and Mike are like having this like argument, basically pretty silent. Like, are we gonna say something? It's like, no, it will turn into a fight immediately, and it's like, oh, we're at a wrestling show, of course it will. So we didn't. We just let him do it and tried to let him fizzle out. Eventually, he kind of did, but it's like, yeah, no, that's an environment. Sporting events pretty similar. Fights are just waiting to happen. So it's like if it's like that, I'm like pretty hesitant. But if it's if I'm vibing and people around me aren't, that's their problem. Listen, they got to get on my level at a certain point. And it's as long as you aren't being aggressive and aren't like I remember I was at a Michigan-Ohio State game, and I was the only Michigan fan for just hundreds of people. And I like swear a lot when I'm watching sports. Like, God damn, just play better. And then the lady behind me like yelled at me. I'm like, it's sports. I'm just gonna I'll be a little bit quieter, but I'm going to continue cussing at my sports team here. And it's like, that's the kind of vibe I'm going to bring. And for the most part, I've been able to be like, I'll just enjoy myself and ignore what's going on around me.
The Grubb, we have to do this where like you or I go to each other's game, right?
Yeah.
Right. We have
Definitely.
to like make that happen somehow.
Yeah. There's a couple later in the season for sure that we should play. I think there's one like right after New Year's. Maybe we could do. I don't know.
All right, we're gonna have to look, but like that's a situation where I don't know how to act, right? Like if I bring a friend who's a fan of the visiting team wearing their jersey, and I'm in my Devils jersey, and we're just like sitting next to each other, and God forbid you win. Oh no, is it a bad, awkward thing where like, I then have to assume the role of like, punch him, but don't kill him because he's my buddy.
I just brought a clown. I thought it would be funny. I'm sorry.
He's a big dumb idiot. What do I do? I don't know.
That's definitely what it was like at the Michigan Ohio State game. And on the walk there, people just saw the little bit of blue and gold that I had popping out of my shirt, and just from like 100 yards away, and they kind of ran up and threw beer bottles at me, and so like I'm tipping. So I'm used to it. Like I've been there.
Man, I always forget how deep the hatred between San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks are, because I was just one year at PAX, I just happened to be wearing red, like a red flannel, which is a part of my like normal wardrobe of clothes. Sure. And I think I was in line somewhere, and I said like, I was like talking on the phone to my partner, and I said, "Oh, that's hella weird." Dude in like a Seahawks jersey turns around, looks me up and down, and was like, "Are you from the Bay?" I'm like,
"Get that Bay Area lingo out of here."
I'm like, "Yeah, yes." I was like, "What are you doing here? This is Seahawks territory, bro." And like, this guy, like, I'm 5'8", this guy's like 6 something. I'm like, "Dog, I'm just trying to get a coffee. Relax, man."
Have I hurt your feelings?
Like, just because, man, I don't know. That guy was a rat, just like the rats in a Plague Tale Requiem. I've been playing this game. Jeff, Grubb, you and I tried to do 2 quick looks. The second one is eventually going to go up on the site. Apologies for that. This is a very gross game. And if you were all squeamish and maybe perhaps have a fear of rats or anything disgusting, this maybe is not the game for you. But I'm really enjoying it despite getting squeamish every other 2-3 minutes in this game. I didn't play the first one, A Plague Tale Innocence, I believe.
Yeah, Innocence. Yep.
Innocence. And I don't think you need to quite play the first one to get the gist of what's going on here, because the one thing I knew about A Plague Tale is that this is a game with the rats. And as soon as the rats get reintroduced into the story, which is around chapter 2, both characters that you're playing as, they're like, "Oh no, it's happening again, the rats!" So I'm assuming that the rats were a really big deal in the first game. And this is like completely super duper stealth action. I wouldn't even say action. It is just like 100% stealth, because you are very, very squishy as Amicia and whichever little brother she's with. Because you can't survive when an opponent or like an enemy comes at you. You can stab them if you have a dagger on you, but that only gets you away from the situation, and you've got to run away and hide somewhere else. It is more advisable to just stealth your way out of stuff. And Grubb, as you were watching, like you also noticed that they paint the destination you're supposed to go to, but it's kind of up to the player and how you attack like the little stealth parts. You can like go over stuff or like distract someone. You can kind of aggro, but you could die very fast if that's the way you choose to do it.
Right. It was giving you a lot of you're definitely supposed to go into this next smaller arena, but then inside the arena there was a chance to make a lot of decisions about how you were going to approach things. And so some of the things are like, well, there's obvious paths there, but it felt like was, for the most part, it was pretty open. You had a lot of tools. You didn't have an overwhelming number of tools, and you didn't have it wasn't like so many options, like, oh, anything is possible here. Yeah. But it was a nice variety for what feels like this combat light puzzle action game sort of thing. And I was also into what you were showing me up until the gross out parts started affecting me, and being like, oh yeah, I'm the kind of person that would find this very oppressive over a long period of time. But watching you in short bursts, that was fun. Yeah, I didn't think it'd be like a good game to maybe stream once in a while, but I think it might actually be an okay one because of just the different ways you can attack the stealth stuff. I mentioned in the quick look that it reminds me a lot of portions of The Last of Us 2. You definitely do not have as many tools, and you're definitely not as angry as Ellie is.
You don't go clubbing in Plague Tale?
Oh no, you get clubbed real quick.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
Sick.
And the last thing I want to shout out about A Plague Tale Requiem is that it just looks gorgeously disgusting.
It's a good game. Yeah, good looking game.
Like there in the original quick look, there was a part where Jeff and I jumped down a platform, and then we just wound up in like a bunch of animal guts and like decomposing bodies and everything looks great. Like it looks squelchy as hell.
Squelchy.
But then 2 minutes later, we're off in like a foresty glen, and it's like the way that they managed to like change like settings and just have it be like relatively seamless, and all of it still looks thematically appropriate. Like I think is really well done.
Yeah, there's like this nice little rainbow on the other side of the nightmare, and that was keeping me going just watching and knowing that seeing that pacing put to task to create a game where it's like people can withstand this because it's not going to be nonstop oppressive. Maybe parts will be like that later as they need to amp up tension or whatever. But at the part of the game that we were seeing, it was like, no, we're going to, like, it's gross. And then we're really going to ramp it up as you are trying to get outside of the city center. And just off the main street is where they're throwing all these pig guts and cow guts. And it's all in this pit, and it's disgusting. And I wonder where the plague is coming from. And then you walk through this, and it's terrible. And you can like almost smell it through the screen. And then you get on the other side of that, and you're right. That's when we got into the forest. Okay. The game makes me feel like I can breathe again. And now we're going to do some stealth avoiding combat tension. And that's a different type of tension than what we were just experiencing. So it felt like it's made with a deft hand in understanding how to dole out like the brushes at the artist's disposal, where it's like, hey, we can make you feel one way through this, through these means, and then we're going to make you feel another way. And we're not going to do too much of any one of them at a time. And I really appreciated that. The
thing that you enlightened me to, Jeff, is that this is the same devs as Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yes,
which just seems wild that folks that are this is how they really see the world. If you had like a smaller aircraft and like just dive real low into like a forest or whatever, you can see a Plague Tale Requiem happening. Well, from rats to bats, Gotham Knights it's out.
I'm never gonna play it again.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's really it. Like,
Jeff Bakalar, you ran the quick look for this guy.
We kind of played the game. There was a lot of nonsense going on in that quick look, I guess. But I think that game has a couple really solid pieces to that puzzle. But the things that it doesn't have overshadow the things that it does, and it is, simply put, it is just not a fun game to play. It is not a fun video game. The combat feels bad. Getting around the city feels bad. What it does have going for it is the story is pretty good for all intents and purposes. I think the acting is okay, but the story itself is pretty good, and Gotham looks all right. Not a very populated Gotham, but nevertheless, it looks all right. Outside of that, it's really tough to find a lot of reasons to continue after that first sort of 5-6 hour spot that I just jumped off of, uninstalled the game. And unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be playing that anymore.
It's such a weird thing that, you hear the stories about development, and this is some of the stuff has been out there about, they were going to do a Damian Wayne Batman spinoff game, and okay, that sounds like a good idea. Why didn't they end up doing that? I mean, maybe they couldn't get to feel distinct enough from previous Arkham games. Maybe Rocksteady is like, no, we make Batman games. You did the last one, you didn't do very good at. You should do something else. And then there was this game, obviously, just looking at it, you could tell was going to be a much more live service-based thing with runs and trying to be a Destiny or a Division. And it's not exactly that at all anymore. It's this, mostly single player, maybe cooperative RPG that is kind of a bad Assassin's Creed sort of thing. And it's just a weird thing. And then you have the story, which is mostly well written, but it is a Batman game without Batman. And they are bringing a lot of the pre-existing lore to this game. So you need to know that, Jason Todd was killed, and now he's back as this other guy, because they have all these different previous Robins, and then also Batgirl, and they pick up on a lot of those threads. So for the people who are super into DC, I think they might show up and be pretty okay with that. But I also think there's a strong chance that if those story threads don't go exactly the way that they either do in the comic or the way, or it's not satisfying to them, then it's also, and the game on top of that not being very good, it's like kind of like feels like a wasted effort. I just kind of feel bad for the developer mostly, because it feels like they got yanked around by the neck here, going in different directions, and no one was ever satisfied with anything, and they kind of just had to be like, okay, you've worked on this project in various forms for 9 years. Time to put something out, no matter what it is. And what we got is a really kind of middling game that's going to be very easy to forget. And I was going to stream it on Friday night because I had it going. I did that thing that we talked about on the quick look where I was like, I'm going to have people look at the bat logo on the screen bouncing around like the DVD logo. Yeah. Once it hits the corner, I'll start it. And I did that. And that was fun. And then I was about to start playing it. And I asked my chat, hey, does anyone want to watch this? And I think maybe one person out of like dozens was like, yes. Everyone else said no. I think it's just kind of everyone's kind of got this bad sort of boring feeling vibe coming off this game, and so I'm never going to play it again. Yeah.
Good point. There is a vibe that is just not resonating with people whatsoever, and I don't think I saw enough of the Court of Owls stuff to really. I mean, you saw it teased a little bit and kind of like touched on it, and I love that storyline. I love that arc in the book that when I read it a couple years ago, but I don't know, if that is enough to kind of raise this out of the muck. It's just it's that interest. This game, for whatever reason, could not cultivate that momentum, that interest. For sure. Yeah,
it's that Damian Wayne thing was going to have the Nemesis system. That was the whole idea behind it. None of that stuff's here, and it's like, man, what a waste. It's kind of how I feel.
It seems like the Lazarus Pit is a big part of this story because, the first major villain that you meet in the opening cinematic is Ra's al Ghul. I kind of just hate the Red Hood. I would have preferred if they just had Damian Wayne as the Robin. And I guess Tim Drake is another Robin that becomes a Nightwing. But I don't know. I wouldn't have minded he's just a different costume or whatever. Mostly because it feel like they not wasted, but had to devote so many resources and time to developing the Jason Todd character who plays differently enough because his main thing is I got guns and I'll have to shoot them. Versus the rest of the team is primarily melee focused. Bakalar and Grubb, I don't know how far you got into the game, but does the traversal get any better?
It opens up when you get a glider for some of the characters. Yeah.
Okay.
But I've never. Look, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 hours in, you might be in a much better place, but out of the gate, I found it super frustrating.
The character doesn't go where you think they're going to go in terms of grappling onto landings and ledges and stuff like that. There is a lot of, I thought you were going to jump off here. I'm hitting the jump button. Why aren't you just hopping down? I need you to hop down. Yeah. And the character's not going to listen. And that's very frustrating.
There's, and I also feel bad because this game cannot escape the shadow of all the Arkham games. And
much like the Bat family.
Totally. Right. And it's there's just certain things like Grubb just described that just don't make sense. Your brain expects a certain thing and the game does not sort of do what you expect it to do and what maybe it rightfully should because of how we've all mutually agreed on what works as sort of gaming language, right? It's weird. It's definitely weird.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about the Suicide Squad game now, especially because I, for some reason, assumed that this would have 4-player co-op from the jump. It has 2-player co-op and will eventually have 4-player co-op, but
a 4-player horde mode, not a 4-player cooperative single-player campaign. You can do that co-op, but the 4-player will never work with the campaign. So it's not that game at all.
Okay, well, switching from one comic book-based video game to another, Marvel Snap.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
It took all of my willpower to not force this into becoming Game of the Week.
I mean, listen, you would have had my back. I would have had your back there. I would have been right there because it's probably my Game of the Week.
Bakalar. I feel like this game might start ticking off a box in your head because of the card aspect, dog.
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Exactly. See?
Oh, show us which one you got there. I want to see it.
Yeah, show and tell.
This is a card from the 1995 Marvel Metal series.
Yes.
This is my Carnage that has been PSA graded. So unfortunately, it's a 9. I think I got a little ripped here.
Okay.
Okay. That's great.
It looked like a 10 to me. It's not.
Sure.
So it's basically a coaster.
We all look like 10s to me,
But this is my Carnage that I really like. But anyway, I'm sorry, you were saying Marvel cards? How can I help you?
Marvel Snap is a free-to-play card game on iOS, Android, and Steam. And it is scratching that itch for like a competitive card game in the way that, like, you know, I got into Hearthstone, but then I bounced off a long time ago. And how the flow of the game works is you have 3 lanes, and these lanes have different conditions that pop off each game, and they vary from game to game. So, for instance, one location will double the effects of some of your cards. The next location will add a 7th turn to the game, and then like the third one will add squirrels everywhere. And so how the setup goes is you have 6 turns to lay out cards as you're going along, and each turn you have a different your mana pool increases or your energy pool increases, and you can place a max of 4 cards in each lane. If you've played Artifact, this is very similar to Artifact, the short-lived Steam card game. And the way that the cards just synergize with each other, and that you have like a deck of 12, and like the matches themselves maybe last 3 to 5 minutes. 5 minutes if your opponent is just like lagging or thinking a long time, or if you're thinking a long time. It's really snappy. It's great. And I can't stop playing this game. It's insane. And the best part is I went a very, very, very long time without having to spend any money to progress through this game.
You said the word have to. Now, do you feel like you have to spend money now?
We're talking to Jan here.
So beyond the compulsion that drives your every waking minute.
Yes.
Do you have to?
You do not. You absolutely do not. I have seen like a lot of people say that, hey, I'm a free-to-play player and I've like boosted my collection level up super high. Like I've been smart with how I'm spending my credits and my booster energy. I went ahead and bought the Battle Pass because, when I'm playing a free-to-play game like Genshin Impact or some other stuff like Pokemon Go, and there's moments where I'm really clicking with the game and really liking it, I do want to show some type of support to the devs.
Like a tip.
Yeah, it's like a tip. So I went ahead and bought the Battle Pass, and the Battle Pass just unlocks, just like every other Battle Pass, modern one, right? Where you're getting the rewards and everything. But the part where I guess you can start to spend money is just to boost your collection level. And so each card has a different type of booster. And as you're playing with those cards, you're earning boosters, and you can spend those boosters and credits to upgrade the card. And I say upgrade with air quotation marks because you're just updating the graphics on it. You're not increasing the power. It doesn't get any more powerful. So
it's like skins.
It's just like skins. It is 100% like skins. So, Jeff Bakalar could have a Carnage card in this game that is 3D and has a shiny logo and is animated.
Yep.
And since it's on your phone, as you move your phone, it's like moving along with it. It's really sick.
Parallax? That's cool.
Yeah, did you ever use a Fire phone, Bakalar, where they had the cameras on the front that would track your eyes, so everything would be parallax?
I'd seen it. I got hands on with one. And
Hell yeah!
Yeah, cool. It does that without having to have all the stupid cameras that Bezos is watching you on. So it still works. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Yeah,
that's neat. I mean, here's the thing, though, right? Everything you're saying, you're speaking my fucking language, man.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
But I do think there's like a weird element where I get sort of like handcuffed a little bit, where I'm like, oh, but is that what I want to be doing with the cards? Like that's the thing. I think the card game and the card collecting, like those are not always compatible.
For sure.
I think they are more compatible here. I think they're more compatible here. Because I like the idea of card collecting. There was these, the digital card collecting apps, and I brought this up on the Quick Look with Jan, where, you could do that, but I'm also like, I don't want to get stuck in this loop of just trying to get the cards for the cards' sake. Even though I kind of like that idea, I can also see that being a potential problem for me.
This game makes it fun to collect the cards and then also play with them. But it feels like the both sides of it are equal. It feels like they really nail making it feel fun to find the next card or upgrade your cards to have all those cool effects put on top of them, or to get new skins on top of those effects. Like we were saying, the effects are skins. They also do have skins where you can get, the pixelated version of your character or the baby version of your character. And it's fun stuff. So I really like that side of things. It then also is a really lightweight and just exquisitely designed video game. I'm working on something about this game because here's the thing. People are worried about Blizzard, right? They're, Blizzard's dead. Blizzard's not dead. They just don't work at Blizzard anymore. Ben Brode made Hearthstone. That company got acquired, and then also they also saw the writing on the wall that Blizzard was kind of getting absorbed more into Activision. So those people took their money they made from working under Activision, left, started new companies, and now all of the ethos that made them so good under Blizzard still exist. There are very few free-to-play games that I've experienced that just feels like they accounted for everything.
Yeah.
Oh, are you worried about pay to win? No, don't worry. Here's all the reasons you shouldn't worry about pay to win. Are you worried about trying to unlock a bunch? Well, no, we're going to unlock stuff constantly for you. You're worried about wasting a lot of time on your phone. No, these are fast, quick matches. It's just every single thing is accounted for in terms of an issue you might have with it. It feels like a Blizzard game, and more than any Blizzard game in the last several years. That's how well made it is. So it's just kind of. I'm kind of being blown away as I continue getting more and more into it, of just like how well done it is. And then on top of it, it's just kind of fun to play around with these Marvel cards and collect more of them.
And the other bit that I really appreciate is, and Grubb, you speak to this with the skins and everything.
He's downloading it.
Yeah, let's go.
We got him.
Wait, can I get these cards graded by a third party? Send them away where they'll encase them in
just mail me your phone.
plastic?
Just mail me your phone. I'll do it.
You got to get you got to get the NFT versions, of course.
Get them out of fuck out of here.
And the thing about the skins is that the different varieties, they're different. Some of them are different iterations of the character too. So you'll get a different design from a different artist of a Hawkeye design versus another one. One will look chibi, and then you'll get one that's I don't recognize. Why does this character look like this? And it's just cool how you show your different levels of customization with your cards and whatnot. The one thing I'll say that sucks about this game, the one thing. And I went across the Marvel Snap Reddit, and then I read a post that I was like, is this just me? I cannot stand for the injustice that is done to my boy Cyclops, and that he is just a regular, decular character. He has no abilities.
So all the cards either come in without abilities, or they have an ability on reveal, they'll do this. Or if another player does this, it does that. Cyclops is a vanilla little cupcake. He's got pretty decent stats, but no ability. No, there are some places like we were talking about how the lanes work. There's some places that give you bonuses if you play a card that doesn't have abilities, but it's pretty infrequent.
Yeah.
Your boy was done dirty. He was
done dirty. The thing I forgot to mention is that in these games, there's a rank mode that you eventually get to, and as you win, you lose. You're losing rank, upgrading your rank. But what you can do is you can snap, and that snap you kind of ante up almost. So you would.
Whoa! You experienced that, Jan?
Yeah.
Jan.
You got an earthquake too? You got an earthquake too?
Are you okay? All right. You guys
shit! This one's strong. This is long.
Yeah. This camera's really shaky.
My monitors.
There's an earthquake if you're an audio listener, and who knows if this will actually make the podcast.
Holy shit!
It's really shaking.
Wow, this is a wild lot.
Do you guys have to do anything? If you guys have to run, go, please.
Go get safe. Go to
get somewhere safe. Please don't.
I think we're good.
I think I shouldn't have snapped. I think I almost messed this up.
Yo, you snapped too hard. Yo, fuck, we got Thanos over here.
Is that what happens?
Janos.
I don't think it normally happens that aggressively.
No, it doesn't happen this long.
It's really wobbling.
Okay, I think we're good.
Yeah, I'm good. You good?
I think we're good.
We're gonna feel an aftershock for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That one looked like it was gonna cause an aftershock.
Bay Area.
5.1? Are you saying 5.1? Someone's chat said 5.1 Hornet.
Damn.
It can measure that right away. I guess so, right?
I mean, it might have been coming from somewhere else where they were already able to measure it because it probably didn't. If it was probably didn't happen right underneath them, right?
Aftershocks are worse. Someone said, "Is that?"
Yeah,
they can be. Yeah.
They have the potential to be worse. Okay,
What does that feel?
That shit was
Wow.
wild.
Well, it just feels like everything is shaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I assume that's what it is. I mean, it's just
That's what earthquakes are.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah, all right.
It's like, have you ever picked up Dylan and then just like shook him around?
You're not supposed to do that. You
I
go to
don't
jail.
think we could compare that. It looks
You
like
go to
the
jail,
center of
actually.
it.
Don't
was-
shake your baby.
The
Yeah,
center
don't shake
of
the
it
baby.
was like San Jose. It looks like.
Okay. Yeah.
Zambose. Oof. So the last thing you could do with Marvel
Snapping.
Snap. I'm not going to snap because I'm scared I might cause something else.
I'm in Cleveland. I'm all right. We're safe here. A tidal wave comes out of Lake Erie and just gets me.
So normally it's just 2 points on the line for your rank to upgrade or degrade, I guess. But if your opponent snaps, it goes up to 4 points is on the line. But the thing is, you can also snap back. So now 8 points are going up and down in your favor or against you.
And they go up each round, right?
No. So no matter when you snap, it goes up to 4, and then if you or your opponent snap back, then it goes to 8.
Okay. So there's a retreat button, and this is where I'm still feeling this out because they just introduced this thing to me a few matches ago. I've mostly just been snapping because it's fun, and I know I'm still playing against AI, so I'm gonna win. So I'm just snapping a lot, and if they snap at me, I definitely snap back. And I've won all of these matches because again, it's just bots for the most part, I believe. I'm trying to feel out like when do I get if someone snaps at me. Should I retreat immediately? What's the benefits of retreating then? Or should I be like, oh, I can see this through and still retreat later and still mostly save myself? Like what happens?
So when you retreat, you don't lose. And say your opponent snaps and 4 points are on the line. If you retreat, you only lose, I believe, 1. Right. And if you and your opponent snap, I think you still lose maybe like 1 to 2 points versus a full 8. If your opponent snaps, that is by no indication that the game is over because you can 100% run it back. My toxic trait.
Also, this seems like a bluffing maneuver too, right?
Oh, totally, 100%. I
love this.
My toxic trait is as soon as like my opponent snaps, I'll immediately snap back.
Damn.
Because like
snap back.
I'm trying to be respectful on the ladder. I'm just trying to slowly grind up on my own. And then if someone has the audacity to come at me, then I'm not gonna fucking miss. And then, just 3 times out of 4, my aim is true and I win. I was telling Grubb this on the quick look. This will be the last thing we talk about this game. I swear. Everyone has a game that is their niche that they click with, right? That is like, wow, you are a savant. You are very, very good at this. I think I finally found the game that I'm amazing at. And I think I will legitimately go professional.
Damn, Marvel Snap Esports.
Marvel Snap Esports. There's no direct PvP against someone, but I will unlock the most toxic version of myself possible to become pro at this game. I will buy an Infinity Gauntlet oven mitt and play this game.
Oh, that looks sick.
That does look 3D on the camera. It works better with one eye, actually, because if you have the both eyes, it feels like you should be more depth. So on a camera, it actually comes through pretty well.
Yeah, just like Odin, one eye and everything.
Really sick, man.
That is that.
Okay, hold on. Let me show off some of mine then. Sorry for the audio listeners.
Grub.
This is our Snap Show Off Hour podcast.
So here you go, Bakalar. I have a 3D Carnage for you. Let's see.
That's fucking
This
cool.
motherfucker's
Look at that.
Whoa.
Look at that
Whoa,
shit.
what?
That's so cool.
Look at that shit, audio listeners.
Look at
shit's
that.
sick.
Yeah. It was 3D.
It was 3D.
Now the audio listeners are caught up.
There you go.
It was 3D and it looked like it was moving around on the phone. It was awesome. It was
Yeah,
just
It's
awesome.
fantastic.
That is pretty sick. Not gonna lie.
It is cool.
You know what else is pretty sick?
No.
Trails from Zero.
Let's get ready for some JRPGs. Let's talk about some real video games over here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
None of this card bullshit. No, I'm just kidding. I've played Magic in my past, but Trails from Zero. So if folks are familiar with the Legend of Heroes Trail series, this is the one that just got ported and localized in the West. And this one's been out for a while in Japan. I think it was originally just a PSP game, but it finally got a full release here in the West. and I'm enjoying it. I love the Trails series a lot. It's like a ongoing JRPG series for folks who are not familiar. Like the Cold Steel games, Trails of the Sky, they're all in the same universe. Different perspectives from different countries within the same continent. So all of the story threads kind of bob and weave in and out throughout as you play all these games. There's currently like, what is it, 9 or 10 of them shits in this whole series.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a lot. And I'm a Trails sicko. When I started playing, so I got started playing Trails because of a friend of the site, Ian Kelly.
Shouts out to Ian.
Shouts out to Ian. We was doing the Extra Life in 2019, and that was the moment he got me into Trails because I asked him about Cold Steel. I was like, yo, you should play this shit. And I tried him. Like, this is 1000% in my lane. I love Cold Steel. I got into it deep. Then I played Sky. Then I played Sky 2. Then I played Cold Steel 2. So now I'm on Cold Steel 3 and Trails of the Sky 3rd chapter. But this has come along. Trails from Zero, which is kind of like a middle chapter in the timeline. The timeline is a little there's some overlap there.
Yeah.
But Trails from Zero is a start from another perspective. So there's like currently three separate perspectives. And this is the one in the middle that kind of never made it out in the West. I like it. I like it quite a bit. It uses the old school kind of isometric view. It's like a throwback to PS1 style RPGs. A very good one at that. You know, if you've played Trails in the Sky, if you've seen Trails in the Sky, Trails from Zero uses that style of the game, whereas Cold Steel is more the modernized, full 3D version. So Trails from Zero, it looks great though. It has like wonderful pixel art or sprites, and like it's not HD 2D, but it has like that level of production value in terms of visuals. It really got a pretty decent visual upgrade as it got ported. I think, I'm playing on Switch OLED, looks wonderful. Plays well, but I will say that it's probably not the most exciting introduction to the Trails series. It takes a bit of time to kind of get the ball rolling on the things. I'm into it because now I'm finally seeing a perspective that was always referenced in Trails of the Sky and Cold Steel, and to now experience and be there, see firsthand, oh, this is what's happening in this country that the other characters that I play in the other games only just vaguely knew about and talked about. So I love that about Trails. That like there's no other series in games that goes to this length and this depth to build out its world and story over the course of multiple fucking games. Like,
yeah,
tell me of a series that has 9 whole ass 10, 12 still going, honestly. Like, yo, there's Trails from Reverie into Reverie's coming soon. There's 2 other games that are only released in Japan. Yo, Trails goes fucking deep. Oh, I love this shit so much.
My question for you, Doug.
Suplex a train?
Yes.
Sorry.
No, that's not my question, but no train suplexing.
No one can touch Final Fantasy VI.
My question for you, Doug, is where do I jump in? Like I'm very Trails curious, always been Trails curious, but I don't know where to start.
Okay,
get that Steam Deck out first.
Yeah, listen, I'm playing Cold Steel 3 on Steam Deck. I just got a Steam Deck, and now I'm playing my Trails games on that now. It's dope. But
oh no,
I've thought I've thought about this a lot because I think a lot of people who are deep in this series have different opinions, and I'm sure like folks listening who are into Trails will have different opinions. I think it depends. I would say either Trails in the Sky 1 or Cold Steel 1. It depends on like what type of experience you expect. So if you don't mind sort of the retro style of RPG and something that starts out a little bit slow but is like consistently interesting, that's kind of whimsical, has a nice vibe.
That's just me you described.
Yeah, Trails in the Sky, the first chapter is a great place to start. It's a lot of setup, but does
it have tiles?
It doesn't have tiles, but it does have it's like its battle system is vaguely tactical because it's turn-based, but when you do attacks, when you do moves, it has a tactical element to it because characters actually move within a battle arena. So if I'm going to attack an enemy, my character has to physically move there and do the attack. And a lot of the spells have AoE ranges. They can do like line AoEs. So there is a like a positional element to it. So it does have a little bit of a tactical element. It's a super interesting combat system, which I think translates to like the old school style of RPG. Like it doesn't feel old school, even though it uses that style, because its battle system is so refined, and it's really interesting how they use the orbital system, which is kind of like Materia in Final Fantasy. There's a lot of things to tinker with. I think it's some of the best like setup, best writing in RPGs that I've seen in a while. I would recommend Sky One if you're in it for the long haul. If you're interested in where it all started, I started with Cold Steel 1 because it's the modern version, and for me, being a Persona sicko, and like the whole school system and managing your time with the clock and social links and spending time with other characters, things like that. Cold Steel 1 is I love that shit. I love Cold Steel 1.
Okay, last question. Does anyone kiss?
People chat is saying yes.
Yes.
It's Trails of the Sky, at least.
Sky, yes. Sky, at least in Sky 1. I don't know. Well, Cold Steel 1, I don't think they're too busy fighing wars in Cold Steel to be smashing. Well, damn.
Yeah, but that's what you want. You want them to want to smooch, but the war just, we can't, right?
Okay.
That's what you want from your child soldiers.
If there are any sickos in the chat who played Cold Steel 2,
you can smash and fight, apparently. Okay.
Listen, I've seen a lot of things on the front page of Pino Hub. Cold Steel 2 is, it's some folks in there, might be doing some questionable things, but who am I to judge?
Speaking about love on the battlefield, Michael, you were here this week to present on the Xenoblade Minute.
Oh my God! Speaking of, okay, Trails from Zero, great game, love Trails.
Yeah.
Let me take shit to the next level.
Let's go. Game of escalation. Let's do it.
Okay, so last time I was on the Bombcast, we talked about Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yes, sir.
And I was only like 3 hours in now, and I said, this seems like a game that's totally up my alley. I love its tone, what it's going for. Its setup is super strong. It's like one of the strongest setups that I've experienced in a game in a very long time. Like, since Nier Automata, since Persona 5, like those games have absolutely incredible openings. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 as well, and that's what I talked about last time I was on here. Since then, I have dumped 70 hours into it, and I am on chapter 6.
Shit.
I fucking love Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I'm trying to milk this.
Chapter 6,
11 hours
70
per chapter.
hours.
Hell yeah.
Here's the thing. You don't have to be that kind of a sicko as I am, because there came a point in the game, I think it was like about like 20, 30 hours in, where I kind of realized, I love this game. I was blown away by its intro, but there came a point where I began to very like deeply care about the world and its characters, and immediately fell in love with it. And there was, as I'm playing the game, like this is it's an incredible feeling when you are playing a game, you are in the middle of it, and you kind of think to yourself like, oh shit, I think I'm playing one of my favorite games of all time. Like I felt that with Persona 5. I felt
I'm
that
behind the glass now. It's like, yes. Yes.
I felt that when I was playing like Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and I felt that when I was playing like Final Fantasy 14, when I finally got like deep into when I was deep into Shadowbringers. I'm like, this is one of the best games of all time. That is where I'm at with Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And maybe it's just, I think there's some people like its tone is not going to hit. It takes itself pretty seriously. It has its charming moments, and I love that. But for me, as someone who's like been thinking about, and I talked about this a little bit on the last Bombcast I was in, but like as someone who thinks a lot about life, death, and what you do with the time that you have left alive, and when you know that your time is ticking, like what are you going to do? How are you going to be remembered? Like that shit, the way they
spitting,
the way they frame those moments where the characters are very introspective, and the way they interact with each other, and how they come to terms with the time that they do have left, it's poetic. Like I come away watching some of these cutscenes in fucking tears, dog. Like I'm not even gonna hold you. Like this shit is hitting me specifically, as I've kind of dealt with a lot of health problems. I think about it's changed a lot of my perspective on, okay, if I'm only going to live to about 40 or 50, whatever that may be, what am I going to do? What do I want to do with my time? How am I going to be like, it's shifted the things that I prioritize in my life. And I think that so with the Xenoblade Chronicles 3, as when you see the characters kind of learn more about their past, and when they kind of are open to a different perspective of the world that they did not grow up with, when they have all of these revelations and the way they internalize those things and reflect on that, this game hits that tone so perfectly. It's beautifully written. The cutscenes are great, and like the way the characters, even just like their body language, some of the things that they say or don't say to each other, the way they look at each other, the way they fight for each other in some of its biggest moments, and how they handle such dire situations. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is that fucking game. Damn. I'm telling you, I'm not even done with it. I feel like a lot of folks.
He's only on chapter 6.
A lot of people were blowing up my shit and saying like, "Yo, chapter 5 is where it goes on." I was like, "Okay, yo, relax. Let me try to experience this for myself." And it really lived up to that hype that other people were saying, and like the reason why I've spent 70 hours on the game is because I started doing all the side stuff. I just want to explore the world. There are moments where I sit down with the game for 5 hours and I do not advance the main story at all because I open up the map and I'm like, "Ooh, shit, there's an icon on this end of the map. There's an icon on that end of the map. Oh shit, now I open up a new hero quest. I want to see what that's about." Not every side quest is super interesting, but there are bits of lore that you can like suss out from some of the side quests, and it makes me appreciate the game world a lot more as I dive into those things. It could be like, hey, some dude in the colony wants to cook food, go get food for him, and there'll be like a line of dialogue that really hits. He's like, "Man, yeah, I really appreciate it. We don't have anything in this colony, but you know what, if I can cook a nice meal for somebody, it was all worth it." Just like little moments like that that kind of sprinkle around in the game that I really appreciate, and it connects me to the world in a small but intimate way. So when you do have the big moments in the main story, it really feels like it all comes together, and I just have a much more intimate relationship with the world that I'm fighting for with these characters that I love. Shouts out, Uni is like 1000% one of the best characters in all of video games. I fucking love Uni. She is best girl, period. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. But
character of the year.
Character of the year. But yeah, it's really cool to have like a cast of 6 characters, which is kind of a big party. Yeah. And I love all of them almost equally. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Listen,
so you like it?
I might have to have like a little brain trust meeting with Michael to prepare my arguments for the end of the year, and then prepare some slides or whatever.
Hell yeah!
I had to like take one strap off for the overalls last year for Guardians. I don't know what I don't know what I got to do this year. I don't know.
Man, how good's it? Man, that was just last year. I felt like, man, that Guardians of the Galaxy moment, man. What a game!
Yeah.
You know.
Jan, we are Jake Decker and I are scheming a spoiler cast, so prep for that. We'll do that.
Okay. Well, from one anime game to the most anime game, we have Jeff Grubb playing Modern Warfare 2, specifically the campaign.
Yeah, I got this. I added it to my account on Steam, and then I saw a bunch of people talk about how if you pre-order the game, you get to play the campaign early. And I went, well, okay, that counts me, right? So I went and booted it up, and it worked. And so I started playing the campaign, and it's pretty good. It is very much Call of Duty, doing Call of Duty things. You are. It's set up in chapters. They are quick and punchy for the most part. They shift from character to character. It's all the stuff they've done from the very beginning. Things that I also specifically remember from Modern Warfare 1 and Modern Warfare 2. This is the next Modern Warfare 2. So they also have this sort of greatest hits aspect to it where you are going to go in the ghillie suit. You are going to go in the AC-130 gunship, and you're going to shoot people with the big missiles, and you're going to have the 25-millimeter gun, and you're going to shoot the little guys that are running across the screen, and you're going to do some shooting in places that are public, and people are going to be running around screaming. You're going to feel a little bit weird, but it's like, oh, this is you're setting the stakes and all that stuff. It does all that stuff, and it does it pretty well. And mostly inoffensively, and I'm enjoying myself as far as like, oh, this is a Call of Duty campaign. I know what I'm getting into, and also I get to play Call of Duty a little bit early before the multiplayer is out, and I'll probably, as soon as that's out, I'll probably switch to that if I haven't beaten this and never play this again. And Okay. Oh well, that's fine. But I get to get in there a little bit early and have some time with it. It's it also I guess the big thing here is like I think all the stuff I just said probably pretty familiar. Like okay, that sounds like another Call of Duty campaign.
Sure.
It looks stunning. It looks amazing. I started the quick look, which will be going up later at some point. I'm still uploading it. In Amsterdam, which you might have seen on going around on social media, where they like showed what it looks like in the game and then what it looks like in real life, and it's basically 1-for-1, and it looks just as lifelike as reality. It really is that effective when you're playing the game, and so it's like okay, that's what they're leaning on. They made a really gorgeous looking engine that has really lifelike looking people and really lifelike looking environments, and so they put you in environments that you might recognize around the world, and that really works. The other side of that, though, is the game for me on PC has been buggy during the quick look. During the quick look, it froze, and I had to close it. I had to hard stop it. It also hard crashed my system or hard locked my system, and I had to restart my PC by holding down the power button.
Damn.
It's been mostly those kinds of problems, but that's happened now 4 to 5 times. And then during gameplay, it's mostly pretty stable, but there has been weird pop-in stuff and things along those lines, things that aren't as game ruining as, the whole system getting locked up. But that's happened frequently for me.
Yikes.
I have a question. How do you feel about aiming down sights for de-escalation?
Yeah, we saw that in the quick look as well.
Oh my god!
Yeah. What Bakalar, when you saw that, what were you? Because I was like, I know what to do here, so I'm like, that's just what you do in this game. When you saw that, like, what went through your head?
I mean, this is the first thing I shouted out. I'm like, why is that the move? Like, that's not the move. That's
you could have called it anything else, but de-escalation has a very specific meaning and connotation in the real world, and it is not aiming down your sights.
Yeah,
well,
so you ask. I mean,
you could have said anything else in the game.
Yeah, It organically just jumped out as like that's what a weird thing they've done there. So I mean,
people are yelling. So what happens? So during the part that I showed in the quick look, we go over the U.S.-Mexico border as Mexican special forces chasing down a known terrorist that is going through into the United States over the southern border, something that never happens in real life, and they point it out in the game, but whatever. And so you're going into the United States, and right there, you're going into people's yards, and they're probably used to like, hey, shouting people out that are trying to get over the border or whatever. And so they're mad. They're mad that you're like going through their houses or going through the yards, and they're yelling at you. And there is no option to say, hey, just chill. Like your character is saying that stuff, but there's no option for you to engage with the game is by saying, hey, just chill. We're passing through. We are special forces. It is just de-escalate, hold down, aim down sight, point your gun at them, and that'll get them to go back in their house, and that's how you de-escalate this. And I honestly, that doesn't always work out for them in the game, but it does. In no world is this an acceptable idea of what de-escalation looks like. Pointing a gun at someone has a very specific result. You do that for one reason usually, and it's weird.
That's what I don't understand. Why was there's no way. Why could they not have been like, show your identification? I don't know, whatever it is, like some other thing.
I mean, these are games where your means of interacting with the world is shooting a gun.
Right. You get in the elevator, hit the button, shoot the button.
Honestly, like that's what it feels like. Yeah, that's their solution to all their problems. So they presented you with like a gameplay problem, and like, well, what's our solution? Point your gun at it. Like we figured out there's a lot of other things to do in games with guns, like Splatoon and a handful of others. There's Splatoon's like, hey, you're shooting your gun all the time, and you're just hitting the floor and stuff. But it's like in Call of Duty, is still very much in this mindset of the player needs to be interacting with this world with their gun. That's how they see it. So that's what we're going to offer them.
You do play as a gun, the body of the person you're playing. Is just
basically Chainsaw Man, but you're just Gun Man, and your face is this gun.
I mean, I guess like from a design perspective, that's what they went with. But goddamn, does that send the wrong message? Holy shit!
It's so weird. Yep.
Yeah.
It's just stupid. They didn't even need they could have just made it like an audio cue. Like hit this button to say something,
and you shout something.
Like there's nothing
like that.
It's so stupid.
I did play the beta though, so I mean,
but
Crime Simulator is still kind of fun in multiplayer. I don't know.
Worse.
Yeah, that aside, like during the quick look, I was asking Grubb, like, I've bounced off of like the last 5, maybe 3 of these campaigns, multiplayer I play for a while. And watching him play it though, and maybe just on the like the sort of like striking fidelity that this game I found sort of had in a way that the others I just don't remember being that kind of compelled. I mean, maybe it was the Amsterdam part, but still, like,
well,
I think
we're also becoming older. We're dads. Like this feels like a dad game at this point. Like
it is a dad. It's the ultimate zaddy game for sure.
Right.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Modern Warfare 2, the ultimate game for zaddies.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just like they're giving us somewhat familiar actors being gruff and solving problems at the CIA, and this general he's a no nonsense guy, and you're like, wait, he said something that makes me suspicious. It's Tom Clancy military fiction, and I find myself more drawn to that now than I have been at other points of my life. I can't explain it, much just because I'm a dad. That's the only reasonable explanation.
It's just this series is just like 4 games away from it being reruns on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh,
right? Like,
boy.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
I've never thought of the Call of Duty franchise as basically video game Tom Clancy movies until now.
Yeah, this one feels very much in that way. I mean, they used to be more compared to Michael Bay. This one obviously still has that, though. It's one foot in that world, but it's very much going down like, hey, just be the kind of book, a paperback book at the airport about military fiction, and that's kind of what they're going for.
That's what I feel like. Black Ops does that part better than Modern Warfare. I feel like
this one feels the first one they're really doing that. Yeah.
Blobs has I mean, obviously it's based in reality, but there's a level of it that's a little bit detached from reality where it's like espionage and like spy fiction in a big way. So I don't know, maybe Blops 5 could be like a spy family, Call of Duty spy family. Oh shit.
Oh, okay.
They're drawing a lot of influences, like we saw like in that U.S.-Mexico border part. Like it looked like Sicario. Bakalar pointed out it looked like that scene from True Detective, where it was the uncut breaking into people's homes and going like, and the helicopter was over on top and stuff. And it looked a lot like that. And again, that's evocative stuff. It's evocative, and it's hard not to be like sort of drawn in.
Here's a hot take, and then we'll move on to a couple things before we get to Game of the Week. I don't think I like Sicario 1 or 2, and it kind of bums me out because I really like that director.
Denis Villeneuve. Villeneuve. Yeah. I know it's a good movie. I know Sicario is a good movie. I also do not enjoy it.
Okay, fantastic.
That's an interesting point of view. Like, I know this is awesome, but I'm just.
Well, that's how I'm with God of War. I know God of War 2018 is a good game. It's just not for me, and I don't enjoy it. But
just like Red Dead Redemption 2. A couple quick hits, real quick.
That's actually a bad game.
I've been playing Persona 5 Royal on the Steam Deck. It is absolutely fantastic.
Let's
partially why Michael's on this week. It's also on Game Pass. So if you haven't checked it out, if you have an existing save, maybe a couple hours into Persona 5, like base Persona 5, delete that shit. Go start playing Persona 5 Royal because there are differences.
Yes.
And a quick minute here. Okay. Yes, Michael.
If you're on the fence about Persona 5 Royal, go check out the review on GameSpot.com. I don't know, some guy wrote it, but it's a beautiful
He's very
review.
Handsome.
One of the few 10 out of 10s on GameSpot. If you're on the fence, read that review. Hit up Game Pass. All your any system, Switch. Now it's on Switch. Finally, y'all motherfuckers support begging. You finally got it. Now it's your time to go play it.
And then, Michael, real quick, you got a minute here, my friend. Talk about your Steam Deck.
I got a Steam Deck. Holy shit. Let me tell you all about
That's a Switch. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Did you get like some sort of special Steam Deck, or is
I got a 512, the most expensive one. And let me tell you all about a thing called PCSX2, allegedly.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Allegedly.
Yeah, no, the emulator is perfectly legal. You're perfectly allowed to. It's the ROMs and the ISOs.
It's exactly That's exactly what I was interested in, because I have. Well, there's so many PS2 games I want
for you, Michael. Okay,
yeah,
we don't.
DM.
No. But like, I've been playing Devil Summoner, fucking Raito Kuzunoha versus the Soulless Army, which is like some obscure Shin Megami Tensei game, and I'm deep into games that I would not sit at a desktop to play. But also I played like Doom 2016, which runs beautifully. Holy shit! I played all of Doom 2016 in like 2 sittings because I'm just there on my couch like, yo, this is fucking wild.
Did you have it plugged in?
Plugged
you were playing
into
Doom?
power?
Yeah, when you're playing Doom.
No, I'm just playing.
How'd the battery do? Because that was one game I tested early on. I was like expecting to get pretty close to what the Switch got for Doom, but with much better visuals. And it was pretty close, I thought. And I'm like, this is a good example of that. But it was like probably giving you what, 2 hours?
Two to 2.5 hours. I was playing native resolution.
That's really good.
I put everything on low. I think the low settings still look really, really good on that game.
It looks way better than the Switch version.
Yeah, and it was
that's what sub low. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like mostly 60, dropped to like 45 sometimes, but runs incredibly well. So like it has opened up my Steam library and some older games allegedly. Like I'm sitting on my bed, I'm playing games I wouldn't have otherwise, and I'm really, really enjoying it. So
how good are those speakers, by the way? Pancup and chat.
They're really good. Yo,
they are.
It's incredible how good those speakers are.
I was impressed because like the Switch speakers are okay, they're serviceable, they're all right, but I'm not gonna get any bass out of like some of the soundtracks. Like I'm never gonna play Xenoblade Chronicles 3 handheld because part of that experience is the music and those big moments and how audio wise kind of sends that message. So I'm always going to be playing that with like headphones or on my TV. But something about Steam Deck, like the music, like all the music comes really through really well on the speakers. I'm really impressed. I'm playing like Resident Evil 2, very scary. Oh my gosh, I'm handheld, cuddled in my blankie, and I was like, wow,
that's a great way to play them though. It's so intimate. You're up close and stuff. I'm playing PGA Tour 2K23 on there, and it's been great.
Wow. So yeah, Steam Deck's cool. And if you have Steam Deck, go play Persona 5 Royal. You know the vibes.
There you go. Go play all of the Trails games.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then while you're at it, can you play a couple Trials games then? Right? You probably.
Like the bikes?
Yeah.
Like the biking games?
So.
There's a couple of Trials games on there. Yeah, they have Trials. Man, I'm a Trials. That's my
Trials Rise.
Trials Fusion, Trials 2 Second Edition, Trials Rising. You probably get some of the other ones if you put some other stores on there. But yeah, Trials
while
Fusion
you're at
still
it,
great.
Oh man!
Just the name Trials Rising is such a strange name. Like, what does that mean for? Okay,
the bars are just getting ever so slightly higher.
Got it.
And go play Tails.
Do you know what Trials Fusion actually means? The name of that game. You know what that means? What it
like
refers
the weird
to?
sci-fi one, right?
Yes, and you know what the fusion is? It's like the fusion between like a man and like a lady machine.
That song's amazing.
Right, they're actually like it's like that's and apparently that story is happening in the background throughout the entire game. There's lore in Trials Fusion, so.
Yeah,
like
that's about enough of it.
We need another
as I
Trial.
want, but sure.
We definitely do need another Trials. Well, folks, that's almost the end of the game talk because we got one more game to talk about, and that game is the Game of the Week, God of War Ragnarok. I don't know why. Ragnarok.
Ragnarok is what brings us together today.
God of War Ragnarok, starring Kratos
and his boy.
Angie.
Jeff Bakalar is I think you're the only one here that's been playing this, but what's happening? Why is he so angry?
And why don't we have codes?
You're not playing it? I thought you were, Grubb.
I need to finish the first one. I think I gave up my right to a code because I want to finish the first one first. So
I would like one.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine with. We have a impressions video that went up at the end of last week. Still can't speak much beyond that, of course, but the first, I guess I'm now like 15 hours into it, but I only can talk about the first 5 or so. Yo, I'm into it. It's God of War again, folks. Let's be honest. It's a very similar, very familiar God of War. But if you've not touched the game, the 2018 game, like I have at all, for the most part, aside from a little like, what's this look like on PC situation, it's enough time where you're like, I can do this all over again and really enjoy it and be told a very compelling story with tremendous acting and really fun sort of storytelling that I think the 2018 game, I think really, for me, nailed the landing on some clever twists and turns, and you can see things kind of shaping up in similar fashion with this one. It's a lot of fun. there's a feel, that chunkiness, that fighting feel. I mean, it's a beefy game. Like it's like beefy boys beating up beefy enemy. Like it's a lot of slicing and chopping, and like all that feels so good. DualSense does that real subtle haptic play that like just makes you. I think that is like the most underappreciated element of the PS5. Like that stuff has added so much for me personally.
Sure.
I think, Returnal, Astrobot, it's not a long list of games that are really.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the problem. A lot of games don't use it very well, and we
sort of forecasted that out of the gate, right? Like
absolutely.
That was going to be a thing. But this game does it in a really meaningful way.
That's great to hear.
I thought Deathloop did a good job with it too.
Okay,
sure.
So yeah, a lot of satisfying puzzles, really wild landscapes and environments, and look, I think the only thing to kind of like reel it back in a little bit is the sort of like epiphany I had early on, where I was just like, oh, okay, I have to stop thinking this is not just the sequel. This is just a sequel. This is finishing up the Norse mythology little story, and that's what it is. And I think, I don't know why, like certain games, they carry a hype with them, they carry this sort of weight, and I'm going into this and I'm just like, I'm gonna get my face blown off, and like, you know what, like I don't know where that comes from. I think 2018 really did that for me in a big way. And you play this game, and I mean the production value on this thing is absolutely excellent on a level that it just does nothing really comes close. I mean, I was blown away by the optics of that Call of Duty campaign, but the fidelity in this game is just remarkable. It is striking how gorgeous this game is, and I'm really enjoying it. It's early on. There's a lot more puzzles than I thought we were gonna get. Sort of early on, there is a lot of like, you visit all these places and you're like, well, I guess the people that just designed this were like these like technical architect wizards that just really had all these intricate sort of traps and systems at play, and that's how they live their life on this mining rig or something like that. But yeah, really, really enjoying my time with it so far.
Now, even though Bakalar is the only one playing this currently right now on the Bombcast here, Michael, you enlightened me to a different factor of God of War before we went live. Are you still comfortable to share that? The inside info that you have.
What was it? I have
about an
memory
ex-girlfriend and their.
Whoa, chill, hey, relax, my guy.
All right. We're not gonna say that on air. I thought we were saving it for the podcast.
Earthquake knocked loose. What happened?
All right. Well, we're not gonna say that. All right. All right. Just.
Oh my god.
Beep,
backing it up.
This motherfucker. No, that's hella funny.
Technology. Jam.
Oh my god.
All right, game of the week.
I'm the number one Filipino brother now.
Yeah, you're in now. Jammed out. You're in.
Oh man, I'm giving up my people. All right.
I didn't mean to like put you throw you back on the spot, Jan. It's all good. I'm kind of just fucking with you, but at the same time, like yo.
I just wanted to finish up real quick.
Yes.
With the guy, we definitely spend a good 35-40 minutes getting into the nitty gritty of the area of the game that we are allowed to talk about. So if this didn't scratch that itch enough for you, please go check out the first early impressions video we've got up everywhere. So
yes.
Do that.
Tam, Lucy, Bakalar, get into it. Not about Michael's history. That's just me. Like, any chance I can get.
The best thing I can say about this game is like, there's certain games that I've played recently where I'm like, I can't wait to stop playing this game just because of how much I think it's stupid. This is one of the games where I'm just like, oh fuck, I want to play it right now. I want to go back. I want to get back in that world. I want to do that stuff.
Yeah, and I kind of don't know what else to ask you other than that. And I mean, you already said like it's more God of War, and I think that people can take that with a super negative slant, and it does. You are not saying that in a negative way. That is not a pejorative. We kind of want. I think a two-part series makes so much sense for this particular character in this franchise. And then you hit the 1-2, you get out. 1-2, you get out. If they do that from now on, I think they're going to be just fine.
I think that's something that should be talked about more, right? Where like when I think you the first person who said that was maybe you, where I was like, oh, Grubb's right. Like if this was just the meat in the sandwich and not the end bread, I'd be like, oh fuck, are we gonna do this again in 2.5 years? Like
look at the original series of God of War. It went God of War 1, huge hit. God of War 2, that much better, everyone's favorite. God of War 3, anticipation was so high, couldn't quite live up to it. God of War Ascension, oh shit, what are we doing here?
I can't stop.
Yeah, they do not want to repeat that, right? So how do you avoid that?
Smart.
You do the 1-2, you get out, and you do another 1-2. I think that's their plan. I think they recognize this. That is why they're doing it. So yeah.
I guess one question I have is, can you Atreus has changed functionally? Is there anything? Can you even say anything?
No, I think like where your the early impressions boundaries, you could still like command him to shoot an arrow.
Okay.
And that's sort of it. Like he's definitely more important. Like you could tell, like, oh, my man can do shit by himself. I don't have to hold his hand.
He can go to the store by himself, right?
He doesn't need like
cigarettes.
a piggyback. You know,
Daddy, can you help me up here?
Yeah, he's like, okay, little boy, I'll throw you up there. Yeah, it's none of that shit anymore. He's like, I've got this, Dad. Yeah, I'm like a preteen now. Okay,
edgy teen years. Okay,
yeah,
that's what's up.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds exciting. You know, so put in chat. It's like, hey, don't fix something that ain't broke.
Totally.
You know, if I order the 100%. Same sandwich at like a sandwich shop, they don't need to change that sandwich, man.
They put a little extra meat on there, but other than that.
Yo, and this podcast definitely has some extra meat that we gotta go.
I want something a bit meatier.
There we go. Grubb read my mind. Thank you, sir. And with that, let's take a quick break, and we'll be back after a message from someone.
Our sponsors?
Sure. Go deep into the canals of Numenor, the mines of Khazad-dûm, and more with the official The Lord of the Rings of Power podcast. Join host Felicia Day and a boatload of special guests as they provide an inside look at the groundbreaking series and just what it took to bring Middle-earth to life. Each episode of the podcast also features exclusive interviews with series showrunners J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay, including the very first full breakdown of the season finale. Felicia Day also goes behind the scenes with the cast and the crew to bring you behind the scenes stories and drop fun little Easter eggs that you do not want to miss, y'all. Watch The Rings of Power on Prime Video and listen to all 8 episodes of the official The Lord of the Rings of Power podcast for free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app now. You know what I'm suddenly remembering now that we're back with the Giant Bombcast, episode 761. I'm your host, Jana Choa, joining me. We don't need to go through that again. I remember we were in sunny New York, as the New Yorkers say, sunny New York.
Yep.
Doing the Great Giant Bombathon. And then I remember that this guy was also in New York and didn't swing by.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Hey, I flew in. I flew in on the day y'all was streaming. Okay. So, my partner, she lives there, so I was chilling with her,
Bring a good partner.
Damn. I wish I was in Brooklyn too, so I probably was super close to you. Yeah.
What are more reasons why you should have done it?
Yeah, so it's deliberate. Damn. Yeah, deliberately offensive to us. I see.
Next time. Well, I am going to be doing Extra Life with y'all.
Yeah,
yes, you will. November 5th. I'm sure y'all will talk about that more later. But
Rory would love if we talked about that. Actually, he would love.
Listen, Rory's going to show feet. As he did, he did in 2019, right? Didn't we dunk his feet in a bowl of water or some shit?
I'm looking at wikifeet.com and see if he did.
He had wet socks.
He had wet socks.
And he lost his wallet.
And that was... I mean, that's every Extra Life. Every Extra Life is just
that just sounds normal.
It's just a hurricane of stuff. Anyways, Jeff Grubb has assembled the news. Oh, it's not playing properly. Damn it.
I hear it in my heart.
Yeah, me too.
It's going for the folks. News.
Oscar Isaac gives update on Metal Gear Solid movie. I don't know. I just saw this one. I figured, let's talk about movies on this video game podcast. Yes. Oscar Isaac has provided an update on the upcoming Metal Gear Solid movie. It's the live action adaptation, of course. And you know, they said that they're more interested than ever because of stuff like The Last of Us doing well, as well as Sonic the Hedgehog. When speaking with comicbook.com about his new graphic novel Head Wounds Sparrow, Oscar Isaac offered a tiny update on the Metal Gear Solid film. Now, it's not huge, but it is something. Isaac noted that fans should be excited that he wants to make it before speaking highly of the film's potential due to his love of the game. There's no release window for the movie, and it doesn't sound like it's gearing up to film anytime soon, but it's good to hear it's on Isaac's mind. He said, we want it to happen. Be excited. What's the script? What's the story?
Be excited,
what's the take?
Everyone.
Yeah, he's excited. Like... He goes on to say, like, what's the script? What's the story? What's the take? And it kind of like left it there like a shrug, like, well, but hopefully that comes to fruition because there's so much potential for that. It's an incredible game. It's my favorite. Whoa. Oscar Isaac. Let's ask him if he thinks Metal Gear Solid was political. That's what we should do.
Wow. I want to know more about all the ska bands he was in. I feel like we're not.
He was in a ska band?
Enough. He was in a number of ska bands, Jan.
Oh
shit.
Oscar Isaac. What role did he play? Was he brass? Like, what did he do?
He was a bass guy.
Okay, that seems right. That sounds right.
Okay,
the guy just got even more attractive. Jesus.
I know. Yeah. Oscar Isaac skanking his way through the 90s.
Whoa.
In a big way.
Skanking my way downtown.
He was in a band called the Blinking Underdogs.
That's 1000% a ska band. Yeah.
Totally. Like he, you know, I don't know what scene he was sort of in. I'm assuming West Coast.
Okay.
But
I wonder if Oscar Isaac is a Streetlight fan. Ooh, shit.
That would bring his profile to the next level.
It's already really high. He can't do
where does he need to go?
I mean, here's a weird Oscar Isaac thing, right? Like, you know, like my wife, like, she's pretty like current in popular culture. I mean, she is a TV producer after all, so like she obviously like fucking mingles in those circles.
Sure.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
She fucking hangs out with celebrities on the reg, and I'm just a fucking schmuck on the internet.
You hang out with us on the reg.
You heard what I said. And like,
hot goss.
I wore this shirt for you. How dare you?
I'm talking to her about Oscar Isaac, and she's like, "Who?"
Oh, okay.
Stace.
I'm just like,
Stace. I thought we were gonna have to jump Oscar Isaac. I don't know.
Backler. I'm sorry to tell you, she does know who Oscar Isaac is, and she doesn't want you to know that she knows who Oscar Isaac is.
No, that's Jake Gyllenhaal. Okay.
Okay.
You opened the door for her once, and I haven't heard the end of it. Okay.
Oh my god, this Bombcast is messy. Holy shit!
Airing out all the dirty laundry.
You know, I'm just hoping I don't catch any strays because it's gonna come for me eventually. So far, I've been dodging them.
Backlar, when you're done with this point, I have something I want to bring up.
Please do.
Oh,
I have had to threaten fucking Donnie Darko over the phone. No.
I know where you are, Donnie. It's like, please stop calling me Donnie.
Yeah, so like she is like face blind to him, and I'm like, we've seen movies that he's in Inside Llewyn Davis, like nothing else comes to mind, but we've seen shit with this guy, and then we were talking about like, oh, Star Wars, and then she's also very blind to Star Wars. But anyway, she finally found out who he is, and now I think I have to threaten Oscar Isaac as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's fair.
I mean,
he's probably used to it.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm kind of on Oscar Isaac's side. I love you, Jeff. Yeah. We've done many CES together.
Dude, are you kidding?
But
I mean,
you're on his side too,
and he's handsome, and you know.
Yeah.
So what was your story, Jan?
Well, okay. So, you know, the partner will bring up, and anytime Kit Harington is on screen, she'll be like, oh my God, he's so dreamy, my celebrity crush. And then I don't know. And then she'll ask me like, oh, who do you have a celebrity crush on? And then I'll talk about someone, and then she'll get like angry and dead quiet about it. And I'm like, wait, I was just supposed to sit here, and it's fine for you to talk about Kit Harington and his how sad he looks all the time, but I can't.
We can't talk about
facial hair.
Wait, so, but who would you say, Jan? Who trying to holler at?
Yo, I'm trying to holler at all the
naming porn stars. And
yo, Asa Akira, what's up, girl? Watch your boy.
Whoa. Back and back up. I
don't know who that is. These are just names I read on the internet. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just like, yo, what's up, Lana Condor? How's it hanging?
Hey.
Jubilee. I love Jubilee. Shit. Anyway, back to the news.
All right. I added this one since the show started. I put the headline: Pokemon has a very good boy.
Is it me?
His name is it Graveyard? You think?
Grievard?
I think it's Grievard.
Grievard. Okay. Anyway, it's a dog that's a ghost, and it's very cute, and you can't see his eyes because the hair is hanging down over his eyes, and he's a very good boy. And also, Higham here's got it's Rowlet? Is that Rowlet?
Look at you, Grubb.
Baby.
Yeah.
I know. I pulled it out.
Wait, is Rowlet? Oh, that's an owl thing, right?
Yes.
A round owlet.
So
okay.
My kid brought home a Pokemon encyclopedia the other day from the book fair.
Shouts at the book fairs.
Shouts out there, dude. This
Classic book fair.
I gave him a 20. He comes back with like a
Captain Underpants,
6-inch thick freaking encyclopedia, and I'm just like, this is the coolest book ever. Dude, first of all, this is a brand new Pokemon. They can just do that?
Dog?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they keep introducing new Pokemon for this new game that's Scarlet and Violet that's coming out in like a month? Not even a month. Soon. So yeah, they are threatening. They are threatening you constantly with new Pokemon. Absolutely, Bakalar.
Understood.
Like you're not going to catch up. There's still more coming.
Good.
Yeah.
We need more dog Pokemon because after Herdier, all we got is my man here, but he also like sucks your life out of you gradually. So like,
so there's like 50 cat Pokemon. So yeah, you're right. You do need more dog Pokemon.
Like, come on, what are we doing here? But I love this little good boy. He looks awesome. I can't wait to buy a plushie and collect his cards.
Oh.
All right, let's keep this going. Uncharted makes less of a splash on PC than other PlayStation ports. This is I want to see if you guys can help me suss this one out. So I'll read some of the numbers here just so we can lay some groundwork. Its opening day attracted a peak of 10,851 concurrent players. That is below other Sony games that got ported to PC, including Horizon Zero Dawn, which peaked at 56,000 players on that first day. Spider-Man had 66,000. God of War had 73,000. Days Gone had 27,000. So what happened to Uncharted? Is it just the time of year? Is it the long sort of lag between when it got announced and then the PS5 version coming, and then finally months later the PC version coming? Because I'm having a hard time accepting that there's just no excitement for Uncharted. Uncharted is a pretty good game series, and Uncharted 4 especially good.
I think I don't know. I just feel like this feels like the fourth time it's been released.
Yeah,
that might be it. That sounds right.
I think that might lead to the confusion. Definitely.
Yeah.
Of like, do I have this already?
That's what it is.
It's also named pretty weirdly. It's Uncharted. I don't know, Legacy, not even Legacy of Thieves collection, or maybe that's what it is. But it seems like it should have all of the Uncharted games in it, and it's just Uncharted 4, and it's expandalone DLC.
Lost Legacy one?
Lost Legacy, yeah, I think so. Whatever came out after Uncharted 4, yeah.
Expandalone,
So it's
wow.
just, yeah,
I've never heard that term.
Yeah, that's the term. We're popularizing it right here, everybody.
Good for you,
Expandalone.
Grubb.
No, I did. I don't think I did not coin it, but I've definitely been using it.
No. You coined it. You coined it. You heard it down.
And I have coined it. Put it on the Wikipedia, baby. It's I'm stealing it now. That's all mine. I think you're right though. If people just think that I've already played this, or I've already played it several times now. Do I need it on PC?
I think in the recent, and it also just came out on PS5, not long ago.
And they didn't do it. Yes, and that was like they announced the PS5 and the PC version at the same time.
Yeah,
and the PS5 version came out months ago.
Totally, and they made it so that you could buy it for $10 if you had. I think if you had already owned Uncharted 4 on PS4 or something like that, they incentivized it. It was really cheap if you played along, and it's just I think it's just falling victim to that, the surplus of it all. That's probably it.
Do you think people just were really disappointed with the movie and were like, "Nah, I'm done with this"?
Or they're like, this game doesn't have Marky Mark in it. Why am I even playing it?
Oh, I think it could be that. Like, what if they want Tom Holland and they just get this old dude with his shirt half tucked in? Older dude, sorry, not old dude.
I I kind of think that the Uncharted movie literally did nothing to the brand of Uncharted. I think it just bounced off of the Uncharted video game armor like, a fly. Like it was nothing.
Yeah, there's this conventional wisdom that everything's going to be The Witcher, right? Everything's going to, or the cyberpunk anime, and everything's going to drive all kinds of sales for these games. Well, the Uncharted movie happened, and this game didn't do very well on PC. I mean, I don't think there's a correlation there, but I think there's also not a correlation there, which is what they were kind of hoping to get. So
what's worse? What was worse for the Uncharted universe? Golden Abyss or the movie?
Golden Abyss. Because the movie is like inoffensive. Like it's a popcorn movie. It's completely fine. There's moments where it's like, oh wow, cool. And then, they mentioned the Philippines once or twice and I'm like, oh wow, cool.
No, what are you going to steal from us this time?
No, see, actually, the moral of the story was if you steal from the Philippines, you get smashed with a boat.
Hey.
Fuck around and find out the video game, finally. Bungie set to revive the Marathon series in a new and different way. A lot of these details come from Insider Gaming, but I've also heard a lot of them myself. I'll just hit these key points real quick. You play as a runner who is a cyborg clone that jacks into a spacesuit mech suit, and you do this through a biomechanical tether off the back of your head, sort of like an avatar braid. The game is highly customizable, which sounds about right because it's probably going to be a free-to-play game, and they're going to sell you a lot of customization stuff. It's going to be very colorful, very vibrant, and the key points that Bungie is stressing to its partners is that it's going to be an authentic Bungie first-person shooter experience. So it's going to have all that familiar gunplay. It's going to have a dynamic world, seasonal rewards, secrets, and a plausible future setting. And the key gameplay loop is you're going to choose your loadout, choose your objectives, spawn in, explore a map, try to get a lot of loot, and then extract. And if that sounds familiar, think of games like the Hunt Showdown and Tarkov, Escape from Tarkov. This is going to be a Tarkov-style game. They also want to make a big deal about no load times, minimal queue times. Bungie been on that Destiny tip for a long time now, but we know that they have at least one other game in the works. This is probably that one that they started under NetEase. I can't confirm, but I'm assuming that they don't have 3 games in development alongside Destiny constantly being updated. So this is probably that game. It also sounds like the kind of game that NetEase would want. Is this what you guys want from a new Bungie? Because it sounds like or a new Bungie game. It's kind of what I'm interested in. I'm like, oh, they're trying something different, but it's still going to be a Bungie shooter. That's probably where they should be, right?
Yes. Sorry, I'm using all of my willpower to not.
Are you playing Marvel Snap?
No.
Did I say something with ease? Did I finish a phrase?
Hey.
Just do it. Just do it.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
He's weak. Look at him.
What? Wait, what?
That ease nuts.
Thank you, Jeff.
Just say it.
Ah, damn.
I thought we were trying to work through that, Jan.
I am.
I say embrace it.
Say
Harness the energy.
I didn't say it this time.
You didn't
Someone
say
else
it.
had to say it. See?
It's true. Grubb let you off the hook there, bud.
Damn. I feel like I should. I'm losing my edge, man. I will claim that I gave Tam the impetus to run wild with these nuts jokes. I'm just going to say
it's
that
your
right
fault
here,
then.
right here. Yeah.
They
Had to
fell
start
out
somewhere.
of popularity and then came back in a big way in the last
And
couple of years.
yeah, absolutely.
And I blame Higham.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, there you go. We'll see if we hear
sounds
anything
cool.
about this anytime soon. It sounds cool. Exactly.
Sure.
And it's not like Destiny's going to go anywhere. Destiny's not going anywhere. That's going to be there. And if you like that, you can keep playing that. And if you want Bungie gameplay in a slightly different sort of framework, this sounds promising.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool because I'm sure a lot of folks experience Tron wanted to get into Destiny 2, and I labored to get into Destiny 2 again recently, and it took I asked a lot of people and they walked me through a lot of different things, but okay, I get it now. But not everyone's going to have that same onboarding experience. And as someone who covers and plays Final Fantasy 14, I'm always like, no, this is what you do. This is what you got to do. Pay attention to this. Don't pay attention to that. It's difficult to get into Destiny 2. It's intimidating is what I'll say.
Yes,
So
I
if
agree.
Bungie could be like, hey, listen, we got Destiny 2 is healthy. We got a player base dedicated and all that stuff. But, let's have something that new folks can jump into and maybe experience. So.
Right. And short of doing a Destiny 3, right, which is something they've resisted. So, that's another way to get new people into Destiny, but they're not going to do that. So, in the meantime, you could launch another new game, which could potentially get in even more people, as well as people who are already playing Destiny. So, yeah, it seems like a good strategic option. RGG, which I don't say because I get made fun of. You know what? Ryu Gakutoku credits subscriptions like Game Pass for Yakuza's popularity in the West. Almost the entire Yakuza series, 8 titles in total, have been available on Game Pass. And the producers of the game are now saying that they think that is one of the main reasons the franchise has become so recognizable and popular among Western gamers, which then convinced them to release all their games going forward in the West as quickly as possible. And they're also bringing that one game, the time jumping game where it has all the characters that came out on the PS3.
Yakuza Ishin.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ishin. Yeah, it's like a Dragon Ishin now is what it's called. And they're like, oh, we were convinced because people care about this now. And the reason they care, we believe, is because of subscription services, which I'm like wondering if this is where most publishers are going to fall on the idea of going with Game Pass, where they're still very hesitant about putting their stuff on their day one, even if Microsoft is offering them a big bag. They are probably still saying, listen, we think we can we'll be better off in the long run if people still view our games as premium products. But we could use you on the other side to help build out stuff, and that's where you're going to get value from us. And it's like, is that going to be enough for Game Pass? Because clearly a lot of publishers have very positive feelings about using Game Pass in one way or the other, just not that day one stuff. And it feels like Microsoft needs that day one stuff, right, to make it work.
Yeah. I wonder what the conversion looks like, because I've fallen prey to this where I'll check something out on Game Pass. If I really like it, just like how I really like Marvel's Snap, I'll go and actually buy it on like a different platform. I wonder how often that happens, if it happens at all.
Well, I mean, even on the same platform, because if you are a Game Pass subscriber, you get like a discount, right? So it's like, you want to make sure you have it, even if it leaves Game Pass. And it's like, oh yeah, I think it's a pretty frequent occurrence for a certain type of gamer. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's for Yakuza specifically. Like, I think of as someone who's like been with the series for many years now. You traditionally think of it as a Sony franchise. Totally. I still buy those games on PlayStation because like mentally I'm just like, oh yeah, this is a PlayStation game. But I will say that, like, for Yakuza specifically, Game Pass has been a boon for it. But when I was at GameSpot, I talked to a lot of Japanese devs in 2017 and kind of asked about, like, yo, why is your longtime franchise now just gaining? Why do you think your franchise has been gaining such a strong foothold in the West? And there are like a lot of factors that have led to the popularity of Yakuza specifically and the ascension of Nier. Like, obviously in 2017, Yakuza 0 kind of like had this explosion in popularity for the series. Nier Automata was, Platinum Games did a Nier game, and it was incredible on its own. And I think part of that is also just Japanese devs getting away from trying to be Western devs and just doing their own thing and say, fuck it. If y'all like it, if you fuck with this, then whatever. If you don't, then that's cool too. So Yakuza had got a foothold there, but there's a lot of people out there who have tried it out for this. Like, oh, I've heard great things about this. Like, many other people have already vouched for this series. There's a lot of people I'm seeing on my timeline who have, I'm going to try this Yakuza thing that y'all motherfuckers won't shut the fuck up about. Yeah. And next thing, I check in a month and they're like, hey, I'm deep in Yakuza 5 right now, and I'm in tears from this cutscene I just saw. I'm like, fucking got him.
I mean, I think you nailed it there. It's that word of mouth, and that's what some people in the Twitch chat were saying. Word of mouth is a lot more powerful when you know that you have that subscription and those games are already right there. You listen a little bit closer when someone starts talking about a game and you're like, it's in Game Pass. Right? Oh, I have Game Pass. Okay, tell me, wait, you care about it? Like, and the person spills out, no, I love it, and all the games are there, and I played through the whole thing, and that network effect of everyone sort of being in the same network and having access to the same stuff is very powerful.
Yeah, sometimes you just need a little push.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Like make
that
it
little push.
Accessible. Yeah, accessible to or approachable for someone instead of like, it's one thing to ask someone to drop like $10. Every time Yakuza is on sale, I was always like, yo, Yakuza 0 is on sale for $10. And people were like, oh yeah, maybe I'll drop $10 on it. But if it's like already on this thing that I subscribe to, it's like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And it's just a snowball effect from there. So definitely some value. And I hope that continues. So
absolutely. All right, let's see here. Symbiogenesis, trademarked by Square Enix, and it may reference Parasite Eve. Symbiogenesis is an evolutionary term about like two species coming together to form a new species together. That's also an important plot point in the original Parasite Eve. Oh. Square Enix published, or at the time Squaresoft published Parasite Eve, and then Parasite Eve 2. There is no word about a new entry in that series or a return to those games, But now Square Enix is making moves to trademark things related to that franchise. So the suggestion here is maybe there's something happening with that series. Now, why trademark Symbiogenesis and not Parasite Eve or refresh that? Well, that trademark is already owned for the most part by the author of the books that those games were based on, also called Parasite Eve. And maybe Square doesn't want to work with that author and they still want to bring those games back or do a spiritual successor or something like that. So that could be the issue there. But you guys think Parasite Eve coming back makes sense?
I was going to ask, were those games good?
I love them. I love Parasite Eve. That shit scared me.
Okay.
Not like, well, coming off of Resident Evil on the PS1 and then Parasite Eve, which is, they mix the action and turn-based RPG elements. I thought that was like Resident Evil for me playing as a kid was difficult to get a grasp of, but coming from an RPG background, something about Parasite Eve like really clicked with me. I don't know if like a modernized version. I would like to see what they would think of that, like what modernized Parasite Eve would even play like and look like. But I would love to see them take another shot at it. I mean, the thing is, as much as I love Square Enix games, there's hits and misses.
Sure.
I think Valkyrie Elysium is an example of, I think Valkyrie profile is dope. And I would love back then I would say, I want to see what a modernized version of the Valkyrie games would look like. Well, they put out Valkyrie Elysium and it was pretty mid. Like, it was all right.
Come
but
out?
It definitely, it came out like last month. And there was not much fanfare for it. It was a pretty standard action game. Like it was solid in its gameplay.
We played the other one that Square released, the Diofield Chronicles, right?
Yeah.
The Diofield Chronicles.
Yeah.
Diofield Chronicles.
I don't have like 100% faith in like a new Parasite Eve coming out and like really hitting like it used to, but it's one of those things where I would like to see it.
Was Valkyrie Elysium the one that's also a farming game?
No, that's Harvestella.
That's Harvestella.
Okay.
Keep track.
I mean, there's more. I think there was some, like there also. What is the other one? The other game, the strategy RPG they're bringing back.
No,
Star Ocean's not them, but yes,
Triangle
there's also
Strategy.
Well, Triangle Strategy, but no, there was help me out, chat. There's Tactics Ogre. Tactics Ogre is the
Tactics Ogre Reborn.
Yeah.
Oh, that's out next month, right? Yeah.
Excited for that.
All right. All right, we got there. Silent Hill, Bloober's Silent Hill 2 remake is officially coming to PlayStation 5 and PC. So, we have a lot of Silent Hill stuff happening. They did a thing last week. This happened right after the podcast last week. So, you've had a week to digest this stuff, but here's the quick hits. Silent Hill 2 remake, Silent Hill Townfall is a game made by Annapurna Interactive and also developers No Code. Silent Hill F looks like a entirely new Silent Hill game that is going to take place in Japan. Yeah.
So I saw that. I thought it looked like a Photoshop plugin. What exactly is it? Like, and you say it's from the studio behind Resident Evil Resistance.
Yes.
I don't remember that either. So
that's Resident Evil Resistance, or is it Reverse? I think it's Resistance. Game? Yeah, the multiplayer.
There's two of them.
Okay.
I think it's both. I think it's both of them actually. So yes, and Reverse just came out, or Reverse.
You say Bofa?
Hey, Bank of America.
All right. I'm not gonna finish it. I'm not gonna finish it. I'm not gonna do it.
Come on.
I want people to see. Look at the growth.
It's an arc, people. He's working on it. There's character growth here. Silent Hill F. We don't know what it is. It looks like what is most likely another main entry in Silent Hill. But it takes place in 1960s Japan. That's never been a setting for Silent Hill before, so it's also very different. So it's like there's potential here for them to continue that legacy while also doing a lot of new stuff, and I think there's a lot of hope for that. Then there's a Silent Hill interactive streaming series called Ascension, and there's going to be a movie, Return to Silent Hill, based on Silent Hill 2 from the makers of the Silent Hill 1 movie.
Well, I'm glad I held on to all that Silent Hill stock.
Yeah, it's okay. So we talked a lot about Silent Hill over the last week. We don't need to go into the details again on this episode. What we can say is Konami is trying to get back into games. They are going to be doing stuff with other franchises. The word is apparently Castlevania, and then that Metal Gear Solid 3 remake is happening.
Yo.
So, well, remake, maybe it's a remaster. But Metal Gear Solid 3 coming back in some way. I kind of wish they would have just gone straight to 4 because that's the one that's really hard to play, and then go back and do all the other ones. But whatever. Where are we at in terms of our trust level of Konami and their ability to deliver on this?
And like what earned again?
Yeah.
Because like right now, I'm like imagining what a Castlevania from Konami is going to look like, a new Castlevania. And so, well, I mean, I guess they could do another 3D one. Lords of Shadows was pretty good. Maybe they could take that to the next level. But man, are they going to have the budget? Are they going to have the stomach to go do a modern game AAA budget? Probably not. So then are they going to go do a new 2D game? And the reality has changed since we were getting the Metroidvania, Castlevania games, where there's a lot more options these days. And you really have to do something eye-catching to make that work. I suppose it could just be Symphony of the Night 2. I guess that would get a lot of attention. I just don't know if they could pull that off in any real quality way. But they're going to try, it seems like.
In the eternal words of YG, scared money don't make money. So maybe Konami's just got to take a shot and just actually do something instead of just making pachinko machines.
Yeah,
give me Pro Evolution, Pro 11 Soccer, PES. Give me that soccer game.
Fighting 11? No. What is it? Pro Evolution. Yeah, PES.
Pro Ev. Yeah. It's another one of those things where I would just like to see what it is. Give it a shot. If it doesn't hit, then fine, at least they tried. Because for Konami, for a very long time, they have a wealth of franchises like Metal Gear, like Castlevania, and Silent Hill, where I'm just like, do something. I want to see something. And if it turns out bad, then I don't know. Maybe it isn't better than just having it lie dormant. I don't know. We'll see how
Metal Gear Survive, was that better? At that point, especially, it wasn't better because we were coming so fresh off of what was happening with Kojima. But
I don't know. I think like them doling out multiple games to different developers and take our IP and do what you do best with them and see how that turns out. I think that's a creative way. Like maybe the 2 remake is okay. Maybe Townfall is dope. Maybe F is okay. But we'll have one of those things that could be a hit. And I think it might be worth it from that perspective. So if they want to do that with the other franchises that they got, like I want to see that.
It does kind of feel like what the strategy is, right? Like sort of just spraying and praying, and hopefully one of these is going to be a hit.
Yeah, I guess that's a way to do it.
Like. It does seem that way.
Grubb, give me what is the actual like? I'm trying to wrap my head around like what the actual investment on Konami's behalf is, right? Because presumably they're not paying for all of this, right? Like,
well, I think they are. They are paying for it, but they're not like starting up new internal studios. They have some internal developers still working on stuff, definitely, but they are also bringing in a lot of partners. They are going to existing work for hire studios, and they are going to they're going to have Konami producers working with those studios. That seems to be the sort of splitting the difference for them, which is like, hey, we want to bring these game series back. We want to invest in games again. We do not want to make a huge investment in our own teams going forward. At least that's how it feels right now. So how serious can they be about this? Well, that's a strategy that isn't so unlike what Nintendo does. Now, Nintendo definitely has a lot of internal studios. Yeah. They also partner with a lot of external studios, and it works out great for Nintendo. People just consider those, Super Smash Brothers, a lot of development was just done at Namco Bandai. Like they did it over there. And so it's like, hey, if Nintendo could do it, we could do it. Well, Konami's not Nintendo. We'll have to see for ourselves if that works out.
I don't know. I feel like Capcom felt like they were on the ropes for a while, and they bounced back in a major way.
And people took notice.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Yep. And we'll see if a good Silent Hill game is possible very soon.
We'll see. I'm excited to find out.
Yeah.
Last Friday, Matt Piscatello over there at the MPD report dropped the September 22nd or 2022, MPD report for video games. Number 1, no surprise, FIFA 23. Number 2, Madden NFL 23. Then it goes NBA 2K 23. Then Splatoon 3 and NBA and Splatoon do not include digital sales. And then The Last of Us Part 1 and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Cowabunga Collection at 6. Saints Row was number 2. Its debut month. This month, the next month, the second month on the charts, it was number 7. That holds pretty strong, I think, for that game, which I would have expected to maybe drop a little bit more harshly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You guys are looking at this list. If you guys are looking at the rundown, anything stand out to you in terms of the top 20?
It's
Jojo.
Jojo
we got
sure.
JGBA.
I gotta check that out. I gotta play.
Pretty
that.
impressive for an anime fighting game, right? That's above Elden Ring and above Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart 8 doesn't include digital sales, but it's always in that top 10. And if a new game comes out and does better than Mario Kart 8, it's my signifier that it did pretty well. An anime fighting game, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle, coming out on top of that. That's pretty impressive, actually.
The part that, we were just talking about Konami, and then they got something to chart here with the TMNT Cowabunga collection, because they published that joint, right?
Yes, they did. Yeah, they made all those games. Yeah, absolutely. That's where they've been operating, is doing a lot of collections of older games, and that's been working for them. And I think they're realizing Capcom did it. We have all this stuff. We gotta just do what Capcom did. So,
they got
these
Turtle money. They got Yu-Gi-Oh money. Just use it.
Yeah, they do have Yu-Gi-Oh money.
Fund it for the Silent Hill freaks out there.
I honestly think eFootball's doing okay.
Fund the pyramid money, right? Like,
make a Yu-Gi-Oh snap.
Say less.
Jan exploded. I
want a Star Wars snap so bad, actually.
I know.
It would be real good.
I know this is September's numbers, right?
Yes, correct.
But Grubb, you tell me, the fact that we're on the precipice of a pretty big entry in the next Call of Duty, and to see that it's getting lapped by the last two that are how are the last two games still on this list?
Oh, Call of Duty just stays on the list all year round.
But that's normal, right? You're saying even when we laugh,
honestly,
it's they're still up here.
Honestly, they're often a little bit higher, I think, at this time of year.
Well, Vanguard was a bad
to be
game.
fair, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new releases. So this is probably pretty normal when 6 new releases drop into the top 10.
Amazing.
So yeah, Call of Duty. The previous 2-year Call of Duties are almost always hovering around the top 20. Definitely.
A year later,
time of year.
when the next one comes out.
A year, 2 years later, in the case of, which one of these? Black Ops Cold War. Black Ops Cold War outselling Vanguard. Vanguard came out after, right? Or is that before?
Yeah.
Vanguard was last year.
Right, so...
Oh, yeah, Cold War. Sorry, I misspoke earlier when we're talking about Call of Duty and espionage stories. I meant Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Sorry.
I think I understood what you meant. I bet most people did.
Okay. Yeah.
Do they wind up getting massively do they get put on sale before
Not much.
No? Wow.
Not a ton. Not really.
I think you can get them for $40 now.
Right. That's about. But on PC, they rarely ever go on sale, and on and you can get them used for console a little bit cheaper. But the sale price is usually $40 is about the best you're going to do. For the 2-year-old one, I actually don't know. It's probably a little bit better. But
for sure.
Let's see. In terms of hardware, we got this here. Hardware sales in September increased 19% when compared to a year ago. This is the 3rd consecutive month of double-digit percentage growth for the segment. Improved supply of PlayStation 5 was the primary driver of this increase, with PlayStation 5 ranking first in both unit and dollar sales in September, now that it's more available. And these quotes I'm pulling are from Matt Piscatella again. Nintendo Switch ranked second in unit sales among hardware platforms in the month, but the Xbox Series placed second for dollar sales. So it's pretty close to the Switch. It's just, it's a higher average sales price. So it's outperforming the Switch in terms of dollars. But the story with hardware is doing very well, selling a lot of consoles right now. And the Switch, while, coming down on the, back end of its life, it's still selling very well, but now the new consoles are beginning to outpace it finally as they figure out their supply chains. So good news there. Mario Party and Mario Party 2 join Nintendo Switch Online next month. And what are we going to do, guys? What are we going to do?
We're not going to
I don't know.
Just stay quiet.
He's creative director.
We're getting it in time for Extra Life. Let's fucking go.
No, you shut your mouth, Higham. Don't do this to us.
He's like a T-Rex. If you don't move, he can't see you. Okay? That's how we have to play this.
Okay, the story I really want to talk about here is this is the first time they're doing 2 Nintendo 64 games released for the Nintendo Switch Online stuff in a month. Now, they didn't release one in September, so is this just them making up time, or will we get future months where there are 2 N64 games?
I'm sorry, I blacked out.
Yeah, who can concentrate? I mean, dude, the Bombathon, where we were playing this thing, I mean, yes, I was I had a couple drinks in me. It was very late at night. Yeah. I'm watching this thing, and I'm just like, this is torture. This is actual torture that we're doing this right now.
Yeah, you went into your Bernie shell. You had to turn into Bernie to protect yourself.
I turned into Bernie Sanders during that moment, and I could not deal with it. In no way am I endorsing a Mario and Mario Party 2 playthrough.
That's your boy. Wait, no, you're not Italian.
No, I just live in New Jersey.
Yeah, I don't know. Everyone from New York is Italian.
I just live in New Jersey.
Italian by association.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to think which Mario character is Jewish. I'm trying to place a video. Which one do you think?
This is
loaded. It's loaded. Okay, loaded. All right, fair enough.
A little loaded.
Lakitu? Lakitu, maybe?
Let's pivot.
Everyone enjoys when we talk about this. Everyone loves this topic. Kerbal Space Program 2 is getting an early access release. It's coming out February 24th, 2023 with an introductory price of $50. Kerbal Space Program 1, a game well known for establishing an early access concept even before Steam had early access. So I'm glad they're going that route again. I'll be showing up for this day one, but this is also like a kind of a good sign for this game that was at one point supposed to be out now, for quite some time. They delayed it several times, kind of felt, and they also changed developers of things along those lines. So it felt like, this might be just a lost project. It might never actually happen. To put a date on it, even if it's early access, is a good sign to me. And I am ready for more Kerbal. Give me more Kerbal.
Oh, yeah.
Grubb, I've noticed something about you, and that I feel like there was a fascination with being marooned in space.
Yeah.
Why?
I think it's is it just my ADHD and I really need my alone time? Is it just that? Is it just that?
Okay, no, because I think it's fine, because sometimes like I'll think about like, if I get really sick, but like not bad sick, like I can just not do anything for a little bit, and that sounds great. So
yeah,
okay, all right, I think I understand it now, actually.
But it's space.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay. So I think the big idea is it's very interesting to use the stuff at your disposal to solve a problem like that Apollo 13 scene, right? You got a handful of things in front of you. Can you solve the problem? That's really enticing. But also it very much is like being the first person here, being alone, still having enough to survive. That is, that's nice. That's the stuff for me.
You really liked when Tony Stark was just marooned in space and about to die, huh?
Yeah, man, that's a good, I'm like, man, I want to just be sitting there talking to my computer and having record messages from my loved ones. Like, I still love you, but leave me alone. Okay. All right. EA reveals that it is indeed working on a new The Sims game. This is something we talked about several times on this website. They confirmed it. It's called Project Renee. It is the follow-up to Sims 4. It is very, very early in development, they say. They want to make it very easy to work together with other players and to share things, which is a concept that's pretty becoming more common in EA games. You can look at this, the new Skate game has that same exact operating sort of idea behind it. And then they want to offer the same exact experience of playing the game across multiple different kinds of devices. That almost certainly means you're going to be playing this Sims game on your phone as well as on your PC. And it's going to be the same login for both, and all your stuff will carry over, I would expect.
Yeah.
The latest on this, actually, though, is that internal playtesting is going to begin soon. So very, very early in development, but not like concept stage. They have working playable prototypes. So, but they are going to be doing that for a long time. They've been doing that with Skate again, but they're going to be doing that with the new The Sims game. Alongside this, of course, The Sims 4 went free to play. You still have to buy all of that DLC if you want it, but you can play the base version for free now. I know that we have had a lot of The Sims people related to the site. Are you guys at all into The Sims?
Not at all.
Nope. I'm sorry. I am not.
I'm very happy for Abby, though.
Yes,
exactly.
I can only think about Abby and her happiness. So
yeah. I mean, not to be like to make it that way, but I'm pretty sure also Lucy and Jess are also big Sims people. So. I mean, it's a game that women love.
Hey, Grubb, when you make an assumption, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. So I'm just going to sit over here.
Okay, yeah, listen. All right, well, listen, I'm the guy in the giant, loud Wario shirt, so I'm ready to be an ass. I remember having conversations with both of them about the game, and they both like it.
Okay.
But I remember playing Sims 2 a lot when it came out and really loving that game, and I'm ready to go back. And I think I'm going to play some Sims 4 while it's in this period where a lot of people I think are going to be trying it for the first time.
Put the Sims in Fortnite.
Yeah, how are they not already in there? It's such a good call. Wow, yeah.
Not the what do they call it? The Bob? How's that not in Fortnite?
Yeah, you know, the thing,
the bunk, the diamond thing, you know.
The diamond. DDP.
Yeah, and then you could do when they have when they make love or whatever, make whoopee or whatever, so they call it making whoopee. You could do that
when they
emote.
diamond cut. Yeah,
when they diamond cut, right? Exactly. That's how she likes it. All right,
we getting real Susio, and it's not just because Michael's here.
He's giving me the energy. Thank you so much, Higham.
You're welcome. Y'all welcome.
Finally, Call of Duty may not appear on Game Pass for a number of years due to a prior deal with Activision and Sony. This is something I think we could have put together if we had thought about some of the other deals that Sony has made for games where it is the co-marketing partner. Most notably, the contract leaked for Resident Evil Village, where in that the people saw a clause where it's like, hey, because we're giving you money, you can't then go put your game on other subscription services or other services, because that will be like you're advertising that stuff. And no, we're paying you to advertise our stuff. And so it's base level common things. It's not like people put it like this a lot. Sony is paying to keep games off Game Pass, and that's not what's happening. That's just a byproduct of the deal. But that same deal was almost certainly made for Call of Duty, and that deal at least runs for another 3 years. So it's going to be some time before we see many of the most recent Call of Duty games on Game Pass. That doesn't mean everyone. I think some of the older ones might be able to bypass it, but at least these most recent ones won't be on there.
So is this unrelated to the sort of like monopoly case or the antitrust case that they were?
This is if the deal goes through. This deal that Sony and Activision have would still apply, and Microsoft would still have to abide by it. Now, whether or not there's more stipulations on top of that, that'll be determined by the monopoly review that the CMA is doing in the UK right now, and then that similar regulators in the EU are going to do.
Got it.
EU. I think I just said but EU.
EU.
And that does it. I mean, there's some other stuff there. Like in the last 2 hours ago, Amazon showed off a little bit of the Fallout TV show, but I don't know what to do with that on a podcast. What am I supposed to do with that on a podcast? What do you do with that? Go look it up yourself. You damn kids.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do with
children? Go read a book and an article.
Go read a fucking book.
I just feel like I have not seen an Amazon series in a very long time that has been like, hey, this is a thing I want to watch.
We were in a meeting today, and we were like, one of our brands was talking about the stuff that like had be like appealing to dads, and they listed the stuff that I knew was dad stuff, Yellowstone, and I'm like, I watched that show. That shit is for parents, absolutely. And then they listed Reacher, and I'm like, wait, I kind of liked Reacher. Wait, like, oh no, I'm that audience. They're talking about me. And I'm like, so okay. That's when I realized that Call of Duty also a dad game. Anyway, that does it for the news. Jan, can you please take the show back over before I ruin it?
Yeehaw, Jeff Grubb. I'll wrangle this wild rodeo of a show and decide to just black out for a good 2-3 minutes to use the bathroom. Stay tuned if you're watching live. We'll be right back with some electronic mail.
Oh.
I was talking to a friend of the site, former work wife, Ben Pack, and workshopping just some like catchphrase-ish type of stuff. He's trying to incorporate ding ding, and then I was like, oh, maybe I'll use bang bang, but then it's like, it doesn't really work, because then if I say bang bang here, at least in San Francisco, guaranteed someone is going to yell, Niner Gang! And then I don't want to rep the 49ers, because, sports talk was at the top. 49ers are just bad. Just bad.
He wanted to make what a thing?
Ding ding for him.
Okay.
Ding ding.
Like, you say something, it's like, hey, Ben, you want half the sandwich? Ding ding.
Okay.
And then he was trying to say, maybe I should make oh behave happen for me.
Like Austin Powers?
Perhaps. And I was like, I don't think I got the swagger to be like, behave.
I think we could bring back Austin Powers stuff. Like we can bring back oh behave. I think we could do it starting right now.
Okay.
I feel like
have mercy, like Uncle Jesse.
Oh, Overwatch 2 is popping off, and then like team comps, someone needs to pick a healer, and then like, oh, do we have mercy? Huh? Okay. All right. Enough workshopping my stand-up material. Let's read some emails. Emails. Bombcast at giantbomb.com is the email address to send your emails in. You send them in, we might read them on the show. Also, I'll wade through a lot of spam.
Spam. Tasty.
A lot of questionable places that this email address has been used at. First email comes from Matt from Boston. They write, "Hello, Bomb Crew. Last week I went to a Halloween event at Disney World where families were encouraged to come in costume. By the end of the night, I saw around 30 Mario-themed costumes and not one Mickey Mouse costume. This made me think of the ongoing debate about who is more popular, and I feel like this is a home game loss for Mickey." Matt from Boston.
Now, wait. Let's stop. Okay, wait. No, Mike. Let me do this. He's in chat. He said stop. Are you allowed to dress as Disney characters even on costume night?
So that's what I was curious about, because normally you're not allowed to dress up as Disney characters because kids will assume like you're like a paid person that works at the park and want to take pictures with you.
Right. That sets off my pervert alarms so hard. So yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Hard. Yep.
So
I'm just looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, hey, I'm the real Mickey Mouse. Come sit on my lap. Right?
Okay. Yeah. All right. Now I follow you. I was like,
Yeah.
that shit came out of nowhere for me, but I
see what you're saying. Of that shit. You gotta be on top of that shit. Yep.
Because there's also, in my history of going to the parks and have seen them out, I've seen people like form queues around people that are kind of Disney bounding or dressing like a character and be like, "Oh, can I take a picture with you?" They'll say yes, but some people will be real scumbags and start charging poor little kids to take photos with someone that vaguely looks like Elsa. And that's real scummy.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, so it's an unwritten law. Right?
Yeah. So I think that's Grubb's right. That factors into the whole Mickey versus Mario thing here.
Sure.
Yeah.
But Mario trouncing that motherfucker. Get it? Woo!
But also,
USA.
but also the debate of who is more popular. I think it's Mario at this time.
Like, Mickey doesn't have...
Were you here when we had this conversation, Bakalar? I can't remember. Were you part of these original arguments?
I don't know.
I think this was on a dump truck.
Was it?
I don't know.
On that dump? I mean, I've definitely had the conversation, or at least like scraped the surface of it a little bit. I think
my kids know both. They think they like Mario more.
Of course, Mario does shit. Mickey doesn't do shit.
Yeah, Mickey's like retired.
The Mickey shorts are recent and they're very, very good. And he's in a lot of cartoon. Mickey Mouse Funhouse is new.
Yes, but that's for like sub 6-year-old kids. Like,
it is a lot of preschool stuff. This is good. Well, the Mickey Mouse shorts are like almost the successor to Ren and Stimpy, but those are a very specific thing.
Oh, I have seen those. Those are actually all right.
They rule. They're so good. Everyone should watch the Mickey Mouse shorts, the new one. Everyone will like them.
Oh.
Like, they're great stuff to just put on in the background, but they're also, then everyone just sits down and starts watching them. They're great. They are not Super Mario Brothers games coming out and selling millions and millions and millions of copies. Like, Super Mario Odyssey selling 25 million copies or whatever. Mickey Mouse not doing anything quite like that right now.
Like, aren't they eventually going to put Mickey Mouse in Marvel? Like, aren't they going to like make those fucking worlds do something stupid?
Well, I mean, eventually Mickey Mouse will be in everything when he goes public domain.
Oh, right. That's right. Where's the list of that? Can we keep a running list of like what's expiring? Because I know Batman's coming up soon too.
Batman's real soon, yeah.
Really?
Like 10 to 15 years. I think it's like 12 years. I mean, that stuff will change again. The lawyers will get to it. But right now it's like 12 years-ish for Batman. Superman's like 8 years or something.
Michael, where do you fall on the Mickey versus Mario debate?
Mario wins. Like, Mickey feels like an ancient Greek god whose time has passed. And he's vaguely in the consciousness, but he's not at the forefront, right? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like, you go to Disney World, Disneyland, you get the Mickey ears, like, oh cool, yeah, Mickey, but you don't really like
it's like going to church.
Yeah.
Sorry, can you guys just keep talking about how much more popular Mario is than Mickey Mouse?
Yes. Oh, 1,000%.
Stunt on Mike Minotti, yeah.
Mickey's washed up.
You know what it is? Yeah, Mickey's washed up. Kids don't respect Mickey. They
Yeah,
don't give
that's
a
the thing.
shit.
They don't play
give a
Kingdom
shit.
Hearts enough. That's the thing. That's the problem.
that's the mistake here.
Get the kids to play Kingdom Hearts, and Mickey will come back in a big way. Trust me on that.
It's true. And like all these other just as old properties. I mean, how old is Mickey Mouse? Like, what is it?
That
Old.
motherfucker's like 100 years old.
Like the 10s or 20s, something like that.
Sure.
Something like that. Yeah.
Like Batman's not that much younger. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I know we're not doing Batman and Mickey, but like Batman remains just as fucking important, if not more important than ever. You know, like Batman doesn't have these problems.
Ooh.
Mickey, it's like, God, Mickey, kids don't respect you, and that's your fault.
Yeah, that's on you, Mickey.
Here's
Sorry.
here's a mouse versus a mouse. Do y'all think Pikachu is more popular than Mickey?
Without a doubt.
Yeah,
Yeah?
1000%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, like Pokemon is like the most, isn't it Pokemon like the most popular IP ever? Like,
Yeah, its
so
reach
sorry,
is
Mike Minotti.
global.
just no one gives a shit about Mickey Mouse. The best thing ever did was a wristwatch. Get the
He's
fuck out of
yelling in
here.
the chat. Yeah, the wristwatch was pretty popular though.
Yeah.
It's a clean watch.
Probably the
It's
most
a clean
popular
watch.
wristwatch. Like, can we give him that? Most popular wristwatch of all time.
Sure.
The Mickey Mouse one.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse then Rolex.
What a weird hill to die on, Mike Minotti. What a strange and weird hill to die on.
Yeah, get him.
He'll
It
get
doesn't
over it.
matter if you like him.
Thing is, I like Disney and Pokemon and Mario. So it's-
Exactly. But I also respect Mickey the least.
Hey, on your important list, how important is Mickey Mouse?
He is on the bad side of important. He's on he is
He's
on
not
the
even
side.
on the list.
Damn.
Yeah, he's just not that
Put him in
important.
Fortnite. Put him in Fortnite.
Yeah, but he's
Maybe.
why is he not in Fortnite?
He's not in Fortnite. He
go
would
in
look
Fortnite.
so weird in Fortnite.
Oh, he'd be sick.
No, that's true.
Give Mickey an M16. Let's
Make
go.
Mickey important, you know, and then people will give a shit about him. No one cares about Mickey.
Superman will be in the public domain in 2033. That's like one of the
Really?
first- That's one of the
11
first
years.
ones
That's
due up.
crazy.
Yeah.
Damn, Superman's Garbo. Anyway, next.
I know.
James Bond's gonna be there soon, 2034. Sorry, I know a lot of people don't care about this. I find this so fascinating.
So do I, without a doubt.
Next email comes from who is this? Jake. Oh no, no one. They didn't write their name.
Unnamed.
Unnamed. Hey, me and the boys did an audiobook club last month, and lady said it was cute. We listened to the Dooku book pervs. I don't know what that is.
What the fuck is that?
If you had to start an audiobook club, what book, aka audiobook, okay, would you pick? Love ya. Bye.
Did you mean like the Count Dooku audiobook? That
Is that it?
I
that-
think
that-
that's
I
what
listened
they
to that-
mean. Yeah.
I listened to that while working at JCPenney warehouse a long time ago, and I think a more civilized age read that book recently too. So I don't know. Everyone into that Dooku book. I hope that's what they mean. If not, I feel
I'm into
very-
those Dooku bucks.
I feel like a Philistine.
Dooku bucks.
It's probably like some artist. It's probably like some like new age artist or something that we're not familiar with. But if you had to start an audiobook club, what book, aka audiobook, would you pick? Look, the audiobook side of this is maybe throwing me off a little bit because I'm like, you want it to be a really good reading, right? That's
Yeah.
maybe half of it here. I don't usually consider that when I'm picking audiobooks, but if it's like the purpose of the club is to pick a good audiobook, you probably do want a good reading. So I'm trying to think like who has a good book out there that's a really well read.
I'll throw it out there because I listened to this on the way to New York and on the way back. Kitchen Confidential is read by Anthony
Right.
Bourdain. Really well done. You know, it just sounds like a very, very long episode of Parts Unknown, which I'm down for.
That's it. That's a good one. Yeah. I like some nonfiction choices here. All the Michael Lewis ones are pretty good. He reads some of them himself, some of them he doesn't. But Flash Boys is a good one, and the most recent, The Fifth Risk he did that one's also very good.
If we want a coming of age story, might I recommend The Summer I Turned Pretty, written by Jenny Han. It's narrated by Lola Tung, who stars in the show. It's really good.
Oh, really?
You know, if we want one of those, the second one, it's both Conrad. No, it's Jeremy and Belly talking, and it switches back and forth. It's really good, y'all. Third one, we introduce Conrad back into the picture. It's really touchy subject. Turns out
That's on Prime Video, right? That's a good show
that's
on
on
Amazon.
Prime Video. Yeah.
Nice.
Any other recommendations for audiobooks, y'all?
I feel like that would be to get into like a really long series would be audiobook form would be nice. Maybe like Lord of the Rings or something, but I don't know. Since it's Filipino American History Month, how about I plug some of my favorite authors? Like Patron Saints of Nothing is one. Actually, I think there was someone who did like a podcast version of it, just like read it through it and acted out. Yay, that's what I'm talking about. Hey.
Ooh.
Not planned at all.
They acted
That's
out
awesome.
like some of the voice lines. That's the thing too. Is like if the book has dialogue and the audio version like acts out the voice lines, I think that would be dope.
Yeah,
So,
a lot of the Star Wars books have the Star Wars Foley work in there and stuff. That's pretty cool. I like that. Someone in chat, Propaganda Panda just linked this one, and this is happening immediately for me. It's called Toast on Toast, Cautionary Tales and Candid Advice, narrated by Stephen Toast, and that's Matt Berry as Stephen Toast.
Yo,
whoa.
Is this so? It's not the Toast of London. It's just something else.
It's him playing a character. I mean, we could let me see if I can find the publisher's summary. In Toast on Toast, part memoir, part how to act manual, Stephen Toast draws on his vast and varied experiences, providing the reader with an invaluable insight into his journey from school plays to RADA, and from a right royal knockout to the Colony Club. It sounds like it's him, like the Garth Marenghi interviews almost. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. I'm very into this. I can listen to him talk about a lot of stuff, so him doing this is perfect.
Someone in chat also said the David Sedaris books are good audio books. I like
people like them. Yes.
Yeah, I like his essay books. Those are a lot of fun. So I would listen to that.
if you're a fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender, might I recommend the Rise of Kyoshi books? They're pretty good. Audiobooks okay.
Since we're on this topic, and we mentioned Star Wars, that new Star Wars, The High Republic, the first book in the series, I listened to that as an audiobook. It is very well done, but also don't feel like you have to go rush out to buy these audiobooks. Go look at, there's a couple apps. I'm trying to remember what they are. I just updated my phone, or I just got a new phone, so I don't actually have it on here. But yeah, there's library apps where you can download these things from the library with your library card for free, and you could borrow them for 2-3 weeks. And I did that a lot. So people look into that first. Hoopla, thank you,
Yes.
Hoopla.
Hoopla and Libby, those are your two really good options. Use those because first of all, it supports your library and stuff like that, but also take advantage of your libraries. You really should. This stuff belongs to you. It's art, and you can absorb it that way. So
yeah, shouts out to Hoopla. We talked about Hoopla on Pokeboy season.
Oh yeah. The podcast, the non-existent, kind of existent podcast that Michael and I have that we've never advertised.
Yep,
30 listens.
Wow.
Last episode was what, 2018 maybe?
Constant K, I'm sorry, in the chat is a librarian, says Hoopla is your friend. So
yeah, shouts out to Hoopla.
Hoopla, yes, get your kids on that stuff. You use it yourself. It's great.
Yes, cool. It's fantastic. 2 more recommendations because it's Filipino American History Month. Arsenic and Adobo, good crime thriller by Mia Manansala, and then Trick Mirror, which is a series of essays by Gia Tolentino. Homegirl made me think like, hey, you know what? I got a bunch of dumb stories. I'll put them in a book. Not nearly as good of a writer as Gia Tolentino.
I got 2 more recommendations too since we're on Filipino American.
Pop off.
Also, America is Not in the Heart by Elaine Castillo. That one is good because
Teach these devils.
It's a spiritual success. Yeah, it's a spiritual successor to Carlos Balusan, who wrote way back in the day, America is in the Heart, which is kind of like this story about a Filipino immigrant and the struggles of it, but it's somewhat hopeful. Whereas in the modern day, we could be much more reflective of the many years that the Filipinos have existed in America. So it's kind of like this juxtaposition, this sobering take of now in the modern day, what does because the American dream is sold to immigrants everywhere. But if you come to America, you work hard enough, you can make it happen. Which is, hardly ever the actual reality. So I think those are very good perspectives to have. And also, this controversial book by the homie Anthony Christian Ocampo, The Latinos of Asia, which I think
it's good,
Filipinos
actually. It's really good.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's eye-opening. But because of our history of Spanish colonization, I think, and our relationship with other Latin American countries. Like we share a lot of traditions with Puerto Ricans, with Mexicans, and growing up in Southern California with alongside Mexicans, I think there's a lot of crossover that we have. And I think it's that like Filipinos from the motherland don't necessarily have that perspective. Like we just have different experiences, different perspectives. So our interactions with Mexicans in Southern California kind of paints a different picture of our origins and our heritage and shit like that. So it's really eye-opening.
Very cool. Yeah.
Two more shouts out because we're on this.
Let's go.
R.I.P. to the god Don Mabalan. She wrote Little Manila is in the Heart. Similar story talking about Stockton and Stockton's role of being Little Manila in California. And then these 3 kids books. Shouts out to Gabriella.
Oh, hey!
And then we got Andres Bonifacio. Okay, and then we got the Magellan Killer himself, Lapu. Yo, there we go. All right, next email is, I don't know how to say this word. Broccoli Rabe? Rabe?
Yep. Robert Broccoli.
Robert Broccoli, my favorite Game of Thrones character. Hello. My question is for Jeff Bakalar. My coworker recently said that broccoli rabe is a New Jersey vegetable. Is this true? Do you like broccoli rabe? Thanks, Jacob in Austin.
Is it Jersey? I didn't know that. It might be.
Okay. Wait, back up for real. You recognize this word and you know how to say that. It is broccoli rabe. This is something you've encountered.
Yeah, for sure.
I've never heard of this before.
So I wonder what it is. I personally, I do not enjoy it. It really has nothing to do with broccoli. Like it gets, I think somehow the Rob chose and it like got sucked up in the sort of like broccoli branding, maybe to be a more accepted vegetable. I don't know what happened where it was able to just sort of like ride on the tailwinds of broccoli, but it is not broccoli. It tastes different.
Is it not broccolini, or is that different?
I think it's rapini is what it is. Yeah, it's rapini.
Only on the Bombcast can you learn about Filipino American History Month and the history of broccolini or broccoli rabe. Rabe?
Yeah, the buds resemble broccoli, but it does not.
Ooh, the buds?
Broccoli.
Ooh, smoking on that broccoli rabe.
Yeah, it's just it's much more like spinachy looking, and it's like and they saute it, and it's used in a lot of like Italian dishes out here. And I for me, if I see that's like one of the ingredients, I'm like, hey, no thanks, but no thanks. It's not for me. I did not realize the regionality of it all, though. I did not know that it was like an East Coast thing. It can't just be fucking Jersey.
I've seen it here. Yeah.
We've got Jersey. Jersey likes to own tomatoes and corn, the most generic ass fruit and vegetable there are. Yeah, that's I've never heard anyone claim Jersey and broccoli rabe are like related in any capacity.
Okay, all right. Well,
there you go, broccoli rabe.
I learned something today. Next email comes from Cody from Georgia. Hey, bombastic bomb boys and girls. I consider myself an avid gamer and have been playing games my entire life. My wife enjoys things. My wife.
Too in a big way. I love it.
Enjoys things like Fall Guys, Mario Party, Mario sports games, and other casual things like that. She recently expressed interest in getting into some serious genres like the games I enjoy, but she wants to play these things together. My question is, what couch co-op games would you recommend to people like us? I was thinking something along the lines of Portal 2 or Diablo 3 to get started due to their accessibility. Couch co-op is certainly a dying genre, so I'm excited to see what I haven't thought of. I love you all more than a friend. Whoa. Cody from Georgia.
Cody from Georgia. This is Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes we're talking about, right?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. The American Nightmare himself.
I think Portal 2 is a great start. Whatever you do, don't play It Takes Two.
Do not play It Takes Two.
Oh, or is this the It Takes Two hater zone?
No, I don't have any strong
feelings.
I kind of enjoy that game, but I just like it almost broke up my marriage, and I'd really hate to like break up another marriage over it. So
damn, Joseph Ferris on site.
Yeah.
I would
don't mess around.
I would say, okay, I'm going to recommend this because it's one of my favorite games of all time is Kirby and the Forgotten Land, but let her play the role of Kirby because the couch co-op for that is the second player plays Waddle Dee and you have fewer abilities. But I think that whoever controls Kirby gets like the full experience. So I would recommend that because I love Kirby and that game goes places. So I think that would be a wonderful experience to share with somebody.
That's a good one. I think maybe like Rayman Legends, one of the more forgiving multiplayer platforming games would be pretty good. More so than like the Mario cooperative ones have a lot of characters picking up other characters and throwing them into ledges. And if you could maybe avoid that, there's some good stuff. But Rayman Legends is better at avoiding that just by making it more forgiving overall. There's got to be like a really just good one that's like easy and
I'd recommend maybe Overcooked if you haven't checked that out.
That could be good, yeah.
Overcooked is so stressful. Goddamn.
Yeah, but it's like there's a lot of communication there, and that could be really fun. And it's like like you can't not communicate. And if the idea is to play together, I think that can be a good thing.
Especially if you just start calling each other chef. Like, hey, chef, need these dishes.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh my God! Did we talk? We talked about that on the last time I was on the Bombcast about how Jeff absolutely hates the title chef.
I think he's turned around on it. I think Bakalar's turned around on chef ever so slightly.
Well, I mean, the bear changes you as a person emotionally. What you think about in and out of the kitchen.
I know what game.
No, like I'm not all the way turned around on that. I still think a lot of it is bullshit. Yeah.
Gotham Knights. Do Gotham Knights.
Oh my God.
Come on, it's a cooperative game.
Grubb, what are we doing?
Sorry.
Maybe you're frozen, so it's even stinging more. Okay.
Am I frozen?
You're frozen.
Well, we can hear you, but
also, dude, we just got finished saying how much we hate it.
Oh, is he back? Back?
Uh-oh. Maybe you shouldn't have left.
And we back.
Did I break it?
Well,
we hear you.
We can hear you.
That's all that matters.
He's uploaded. He's uploaded himself.
From the point of view of like Gotham Knights being a sandbox where chaos can ensue and hilarity can be found, sure, but that's probably where it ends. And it's
You know what my real recommendation is?
What's that?
Jan? Final Fantasy 14. Listen,
this guy.
It's a critically acclaimed MMORPG. It's got a free trial up to level 60. And, you go up to the expansion Heavensward. You can play that together. Trust me.
Okay.
You want to get into some real games.
That's true. You guys can run quests together and everything. Grubb, don't even worry about fixing your camera as long as we can hear you.
It's fine.
Oh, shit. We swap spaces.
Grubb, you still around? All right. Well, may have to. Okay, we'll jump ahead to some email. The last email here. This comes from Sigurd. Hey, gang. Which song verse in a hip hop rap song do you think is the most people alive in the world today could sing from memory? Love, Sigurd from Norway.
It's definitely got to be something Biggie. I think
I like it when you call me Big Papa. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Super Nintendo.
Sega Genesis.
Verse. Maybe one of the verses from what the fuck was the song with More Money, More Problems, for sure.
Ooh,
like
maybe
one of the last verses in that.
Biz Marquis' Just a Friend, because people yell that hook
yes,
left and right.
Yeah. But asking specifically about verses, like, because anyone can sing a hook of a popular like rap or hip hop song.
True.
But a verse, I was trying to wrap my head around this. Like, what is a memorable verse to like the wider population, right? I know some verses like from, because we listen to hip hop, real hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, so we can rap back several verses from history. But in terms of like wide popularity, what the world today could sing from memory.
Yeah, chat's got it.
I don't know what.
Fresh Prince.
Nice.
Sure. And what? Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think that counts.
Someone said, was it Shiamiro said, "Lose Yourself." I feel like,
That's a real good one.
Yeah.
Eminem can appeal to the Yakubians, so I feel like it's got wide popularity. But like everyone remembers Mom Spaghetti. Up to that point,
that's true.
Remember.
Meme or not. I was gonna throw in the tail end of Kendrick Lamar's verse in "Fucking Problems," where he goes, "Kill 'em all, dead bodies in the hallway. Don't get involved. Listen to what the crystal balls say." And specifically the last part, Halle Berry, hallelujah, holla back, I'll do you. Beast. Because anytime anyone says that at a function, everyone starts chiming in. It's magical. And everyone thinks they can rap like Kendrick Lamar, which few people can.
I feel like a Drake song would be.
Oh, is it Hotline Bling? It's a Hotline Bling, huh?
Oh,
maybe.
No.
Hey,
I think so. Because
I could probably do that.
Yeah, because I think because those verses are like catchy and memorable as much as the hook.
Yeah,
and they kind of like lead into the hook, so they're kind of almost inseparable in that sense. So I feel like a lot of people can get on that. I don't, people have feelings about Drake. I do too, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think that might be it. Grubb, Bakalar, any other suggestions? What you think? Chat saying anything else?
Just Snow Informer.
There's a murderer.
There it is. I can do
that's awesome.
My name is Jeff Grubb, and I'm here to say I play video games in a major way. Everyone just does that, but with their own words. So.
Ooh. Someone says Vanilla Ice, but I think it could actually be. Might be the hook though, because I was gonna say the ninja rap from TMNT2.
From Turtles?
Yeah.
Go Ninja, go Ninja, go. Yeah, that's probably.
What about the Pokemon?
Oh,
those are all verses. There's a hook, but I feel like people might remember that from the anime. R.I.P. Coolio, but I feel like Gangsta's Paradise might be something that that's like the verses or the opening verse in that song. I feel like I think that's in the public consciousness quite widely.
Galactic, planetary.
Yeah, a lot of people saying Beastie Boys.
I wouldn't think about Beastie Boys, but maybe, huh?
I don't think of. I guess someone said Sabotage, but I guess that's a rap song, right? Like,
well, Beastie Boys are hip hop.
Yeah,
they're hip hop group.
Yeah, it's crazy. Once I saw Beastie Boys.
Monkey.
Yeah, that's true too.
Oh,
I saw Beastie Boys perform in like 2008, and the first half hour of their set was just their like 80s punk music that they were.
Oh shit!
It was like no one knew what was going on. I was like, it was even way before my time, and I'm just like, oh right, you guys were this. It's crazy.
I like big butts, and I cannot lie. All you other brothers can't die.
Yeah.
Because
that is
a
a
waist and a round thing in your face, you get sprung.
Yeah,
that's that. It's that. It's got to be that.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think that's the answer.
There's no answer.
I think we got.
Right.
I think we got to go.
Baby Got Back.
No, I think we got to go new school. I think we got to go new school because I think it might be Old Town Road.
Oh, Jan. I don't see. No, I think it's. I think it's. I don't know if that's right.
Lil Nas X is huge.
I know. I'm not saying.
But
I'm not saying. Yeah.
He rides that line though between like because that song in particular had like a country vibe, but it is also rap hip hop. So
hip hop.
Like real hip hop. Yo, did you know? Like when I look back on it, Lil Nas X got his start with Old Town Road. That was a Red Dead Redemption AMV.
What?
Yeah, that like if I'm remembering correctly, because I remember Callie covered this when Lil Nas X when that shit went viral.
Really?
Like. Yeah, it was a Red Dead Redemption 2 AMV and to Old Town Road, and I think that went viral, and that's kind of, if I remember correctly, maybe I'm just remembering this because we're in the realm of video games, but Lil Nas X, like, that's what fuck with video games.
That's possible. I remember, wasn't what's her name, Lord, was like posted her thing to 4chan or whatever before it ever became big, and then yeah, it was there, and people found it there, yeah.
All right, I think that about does it for emails this week. Once again, you can send your emails to bombcast@giantbomb.com. Got a lot of stuff popping off this week as per usual. Game Mess Mornings kicks back off tomorrow up until the end of the week. Bakalar, you're going to be playing through some more Eternal Darkness.
Yeah, we're right there at the end. No, we're not. We're not at the end, but we're getting there. We're making
a couple
our way
more
through
episodes.
It.
Couple more episodes.
I'm enjoying it. I hope everyone else watching it is.
I'm having a
I
real
know
good time
you
with
are,
that.
Jeff. You're a pleasure to play with. there's also other people on that show as well.
Hey,
Yes.
we don't need to worry about him. I got you back. We're having a good time there. That's a good time to watch that.
Yeah.
On Thursday we're going to be forking on a Friday night, so let's not forget about that.
Yeah, make sure to wear your best. I don't know, just be decked out in denim and stuff. Perhaps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even though it's Thursday.
Even though it's Friday. It's
Friday on a Thursday.
I listen to Rebecca Black's Friday every single day to put myself in the Friday mood. So I just carry that energy every single day. So Thursday you could get funky on that Friday. I'm not going to hold you to it. Yeah.
Thursday, we will be forking on a Friday night.
Great.
Michael Higham, what you up to, dog? What you want to plug?
You could find me and all of my bullshit at Michael P. Higham on Twitter. Where I don't know, minding my own business, staying in my own lane. That's what I've been doing. But I don't know. I don't necessarily. I mean, Fanbyte. I'm still at Fanbyte, and things have been happening there. I don't want to speak too much on it. I know when Imran and John were on this very podcast, and Nikki Grayson, shouts out to them. They spoke about that, so I don't need to add anything to it. But I'm still there. And covering Final Fantasy 14, 6.25 just dropped, new patch, lots of new content. But I don't know, maybe plug other things. If y'all want a good podcast to listen to, John, Nikki, and my friend LB, they have a thing called If You're Driving, Close Your Eyes. Go check that out. I've been listening to that shit a lot, and I listen to it and I think to myself, wow, I really want to work with these people. And I didn't realize that I worked with them for like a whole fucking year. I love their podcast. They're super funny. Filipino American History Month. Follow me and Jan. Do due diligence.
That's right. I don't know. Actually, Lizzie Killian put together. Shouts out to the homegirl. She put together a Discord server for Filipinos in game dev, games media. Go ahead and join that. I'll try and track down the link, throw that around somewhere. And I don't know.
I want to be very clear. I am in no Discord servers for white people. Never would, never have been, never will.
Yeah, we'll put you on a watch list if you want.
Very clear. Very clear. Very clear.
And then apparently Taylor Swift used to babysit Jeff Jarrett's children at one point, and that's been the Giant Bombcast. We'll catch you next week. Bye-bye. Music's playing.
The Giant Bombcast is hosted and live produced by Jan Ochoa, with support from Jeff Grubb, Dan Reichert, Jess O'Brien, Lucy James, Tamor Hussein, Jason A. Stryker, Matthew Rory, and me, Jeff Bakalar. Our theme music is provided by Tom Monda. Our logo is designed by Dave Schopenek, and you can find him online with the handle @DaveSavedTheDay. Justin Vachon is our sweet little art boy. And thank you so much for listening. Of course, a kiss on the cheek to you at home.